TexasBigStar Live with your host, Brian B. Barrett.
Good afternoon, morning, and or evening, depending on where you are tuning in from. Welcome to TexasBigStar Live. I am Brian B. Barrett, and we are obviously in the same spot that we know and love right here, broadcasting from the fabulous Horny Toad Bar and Grill in Cranfills Gap, Texas. Wouldn't have it any other way. Today is a special day for us. We have so many things lined up that, honestly, Jake and I didn't think was going to come together. Isn't that correct? So
I should turn on my mic.
you should turn your mic on. There you go. You got a camera on yourself?
I do.
Where's Jake?
And it's not
There's
super dark.
Dylan too. There's
Like last week.
Jake.
Last week's camera was a little too dark. So I don't know if we might have to here.
That's a good look for you, man.
Let's see. Maybe this? Oh, I don't know.
There you go.
I don't like the side profile.
JB vid bombed you.
This will work.
He live stream bombed you. Did you see that?
So how are you doing today? Oh, and check out chat.
And chat, welcome those who are joining us via Twitch chat. Stephanie Jones, music, not just the music, but herself is on the chat. I'm doing well, Steph. How are you doing? Glad to see you, at least in text and fonts. It's good to see your fonts again. Is there like an etiquette for chatting? We should do a show on chat etiquette, Jake. What do you think?
I mean, we talked about doing that.
That would be educational for me.
We talked about doing like an intro to Twitch.
Is there a lexicon, a dictionary of chat? The chat subculture, all the abbreviations of things. Has someone compiled that together? That would be interesting, I think.
We should. And you know what we ought to do right now? We should introduce you to the most used Twitch chats, little emotes.
Oh yeah. What are they?
So we can edit this and put these up on the screen afterwards.
Sure.
So Dylan's gonna type them in for us.
Great.
That one up there. That one's called Kappa.
One up where? Where you at?
This one right here.
Oh, Kappa. That guy's head?
What the heck is this? There we go.
That guy's head is called Kappa?
Yes.
And who is that guy?
Who is that guy? He was a streamer, and we don't know a whole lot about it. We'll look it up, but it is used usually whenever an innuendo is made or something silly. You can be sarcastic with it. It's multi-purpose.
So it's used as a what's the one thing I'm looking for? It's looking as a kind of that something that gets the point across even more, especially sarcastically.
Yes. Or
Gotcha.
Or if someone says something dirty and it's hilarious, you put Kappa.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what else do we have, Dylan? Dylan's going to hook us up with another one in chat.
Well, while Dylan's looking... Go ahead. No, I was just going to do a little bit of the rundown, but this is... Okay, what's that guy's? What's his head? That looks like the singer for Smash Mouth.
That's Craigasm. And that's when someone says something, or when you like something so much that you want to emote. Yeah.
It's a family show.
It is a family show. But you get the point then. If you're making that joke, you get the point.
Well, anytime you put that ending on any word, it usually means some sort of... you know what I'm saying. Look at this. There's just more. You'll have fun doing this stuff in post, putting up the... Are you saving room on the shot for to put the spaces in for... So where are you going to put that guy's head? Over here or over here?
Something. Or here we go. Let's move you over.
Where you go?
Over to your left or something. But the one that I posted right here.
Yeah.
That's PogChamp.
PogChamp?
Yeah, PogChamp's a good one. It is whenever something awesome happens or someone gets burned really bad.
You don't
PogChamp
mean
is
actually physically first, second, or third degree burns. You mean like you got roasted.
Yeah, roasted.
Yeah.
So it's basically that face, the
right.
That phase.
Yeah. What's the Hushy Love has like a stick of butter? What's that?
You should know what that one is, because your kids play Minecraft.
Oh, that's a bar of gold?
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just reminds me of Land O'Lakes butter. It's just, it's a
Picnic
wonderful
basket.
look.
I've never seen that one.
What's with the flaming picnic basket?
Yeah, what is that?
Panic basket.
basket.
Oh, it's a panic basket. This is educational.
So
you know that
when someone, Dylan, this is Dylan's words, not mine. Whenever Dylan has a
Right.
really, we need Dylan to have a mic as well. We're gonna get one for him eventually.
yeah.
But whenever he's freestyling, and his flow is so good that his rhymes are fire, that's when you type panic basket.
When your flow is so good that your rhymes are fire, that's a panic basket.
We have you saying that. That's the best. I'm gonna clip that.
That's just yeah. You can just do a little audio clip, snip that up. Oh goodness! You know, and folks, this is why Texas Big Star Live is the show to be tuning into. Not only is it it's just fun, informative, but it is educational. This is important stuff. Years from now, there will be a Webster's, chat dictionary, and these terms will probably be in there. This is our goal. Really, is to promote love, respect, understanding, a love for Pico de Gallo and all things here at the Toad, and education. So we thank you for tuning in. Especially love for Pico de Gallo.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite words to say. Pico de Gallo. It's just
Technically,
not Pico de Gato, which should have something to do with a cat. That's different.
yeah. Okay, but technically, Twitch is a culture, or at least a subculture of the internet.
Right.
So we love, respect, and understanding for all cultures as we introduce people to these new cultures and interact internationally.
Yeah.
This counts.
Just living in America for me is an introduction to a new culture every day. You never know who you're going to meet. You never know what language you're going to be speaking, and it's my job to kind of figure out a way to build bridges to all the communities. And today we have an eclectic community that is with us. And let me just do the rundown, Jake. Let me do a drum roll rundown. Today's topic: how do you show patriotism, and how do you show patriotism in your country? Because the reason we say your country is because we have an international guest that's going to be joining us. Chaz is joining us, and I'm looking forward to talking with her. She's from the UK.
Do you remember Chaz?
She was at VidCon, right?
Yeah, she had the awesome snapback hat. Yeah,
That's right, Chaz.
she was great, and she's gonna be joining us today.
This will be great. It'll be good to see her again and chat with her. Chatting with Chaz. It's Chaz Chat. I'm sure she has she's thought of those titles before, right? Chat with Chaz.
She has to have. I mean, if she's a YouTuber.
Right. Cheese with Chaz, if she's doing like a wine and cheese tasting. Got to be. International guest. But how do we celebrate or how do we show patriotism? Well, here in the U.S., we have a few ways. Obviously, July 4th is coming up real soon. And we'll be talking about that. But that'll be kind of our topic. And those of you joining us via Twitch, if you're overseas or even if you're here, I've found that there's many Americans that have different ways of showing their patriotism. Flying the American flag, obviously July 4th. A lot of folks go to fireworks. Some folks do things differently. If you do things differently, we'd love to hear about it. We'd like to hear about your patriotic traditions. We'd like to hear about anything that you do for showing patriotism, whether it's July 4th, whether it's Veterans Day, Memorial Day. There's lots of parades that happen. Maybe share with us a wonderful experience during one of those times. It could be a humorous experience. Maybe a loved one that was a veteran that had an impact on your life. Share that with us too. Chat in. Call in. Is there a phone number they can call? Do we do that?
We could.
Do people have phone numbers anymore? It's just a vehicle to text anymore for the most part. I still like talking to people live and in person, or at least on a phone. Don't you? JB, you concur? Do you concur? Yes, I concur, sir. Yeah. Also, we have a guest with us. Mr. Ed Reiser is going to be here. He is going to be here speaking about some of the very things we're talking about and what's coming up in the area. in the Bosque County area, some things that are happening, and we look forward to speaking with him. Also, we do have a What's in the Box segment. Hey, what's in the box? And Mr. Mark Wallace will be joining us, bringing us something to put in the box. And the box is right back here. It's right back there. He put something in the box. I don't see it. I don't know what it is. And then we reveal what's in the box, and I have to guess what it is. Ordinarily, it is something that's, I'm guessing, ordinarily it's something we've never seen that has some sort of historical value, historical point. It's educational, practical. He's brought some great stuff, so that's going to be fun. Jake, you're feeling me on that, right?
Well, who knows? Sometimes I know what's in the box before.
Do you know what's in the box today?
Sometimes.
You don't know it today. Do you know what's in the box today? Can you hear me? Am I?
Maybe.
Maybe. That's why you're not answering me.
Maybe.
You know what's in the box. Okay.
Hey, maybe I don't.
Hey, I see
check
how
out
you
what
are.
Hushy said.
Hushy parades on our National Day. 17th of May. 17th of May. Stephanie Jones says she walks around proudly with her pet bald eagle on her shoulder. I didn't realize you could have a pet bald eagle living in America.
You cannot.
Oh, okay.
No. Yeah.
And if you did have a pet bald eagle on your shoulder, that would be kind of heavy because they're kind of a big bird, and those talons would probably leave you scarred. It would probably rip your trapezius right out after a while. Mm-hmm. Don't spook the bald eagle while it's resting on your shoulder. Jake, have you ever seen bald eagles like up close, like doing their not at a zoo but in a natural habitat?
Mm-hmm.
I have too.
Like nests. I've seen not a nest. Yeah.
Years ago, I went with my wife Katrina up to her home state of Washington State, and in Washington State, during the salmon run, we drove up. What river was it, honey? If she's listening, are you listening? What river was it? Anyway, it was a river there in Washington State, and the eagles were perched on the bank. Lots of eagles. You've never seen so many eagles because the salmon are spawning, and so the eagles are flying and they're coming down, grabbing these fish that salmon, like large salmon, ripping them out of the water, taking them to the bank, and just digging into them. Eagles are ferocious when they want to be. They are nothing to be toyed with. I just have to tell you. Very majestic bird, a very powerful bird, and very strong. And apparently they love fish too, which I knew that. But when you've seen them eat, like 7 or 8 of them lined up on the bank, just. So that's I don't know if that's a patriotic story, but that's my experience with eagles.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Also, musical guest today, Emma Guillory is going to be with us. That's pretty fun.
And she just won a competition or something at
She
4-H?
was she placed very well at the state competition 4-H here in Texas, and is going to be sharing some of those songs that she did, and who knows what else. She's free to do whatever she'd like to do. Should be fun. Should be fun. But on the chat, Hushy Love. Oh, Hushy Love's going to be in the box. Okay. Hushy Love's going to be in the box. Yeah.
So today,
Stephanie says she's going to stick with squirrels after my eagle stories. No, don't be scared of eagles. They don't bother humans too much.
So today, we have one of our guests already with us. We should invite him over.
Really? Which one's that?
Mr. Ed.
Mr. Reiser, come on over. Come on over. Ed Reiser. You brought some things with you, didn't you? Oh, you do. Now this should be informative. Here you go. Use this guy right here.
Thank you, sir. Show and tell, 1,000 words.
Show and tell.
It's worth 1,000 words.
Welcome, welcome.
Right, good to see you.
Good to have you back.
Yeah, good to be back.
Here, let's get this mic a little bit closer
There
to
we
you.
go. All right.
Now you got lots of pictures and stuff too. This
Well,
should
no,
be
I
good.
want to relate to your eagle and the salmon story there. Around here, we call those buzzards, and they clean up the highway,
Around here.
Between the armadillo and the deer that are hit, and all those sundry little things that end up on the highway,
Buzzards,
that's
they
our
do a
cleanup.
very good job of getting the meat off the bone
They
for
do
sure.
They do a great job. Very good.
We had a raccoon incident at the farm recently, and so we had to take the raccoon out to the place where the buzzards can get it.
That's right. Throw it right out.
And it's
Right
where
out there in the field. It
when the
works.
beast dies, we take it to the picking field
That's it.
where the buzzards
That's
can
right.
just pick it clean. It becomes a boneyard
That's
after
it.
a while.
It is.
Yeah.
That's right. You know where the buzzards like to come in your
Yeah,
particular part of the
it's
country.
just
right.
yeah. I was jogging down the road a month or two ago, and you can see the buzzards doing this. Well, there's something's there, and there's always something dead in the grass around here.
Usually.
Somewhere
Right.
next to the road, on the road, and sure enough, there was a cow, a young calf had died, and
Yeah.
so the mall cow was just mooing, but
That's sad.
that was sad. But
Yeah.
speaking of things on the road, and this is a little bit of a segue, but it might have some it has pertinence because we're here. You know what I've seen 2 of in the last 4 days? Dead
What's
on the
that?
road, horny toads.
What?
I kid you not.
No.
Kid you not. No, I'm not kidding.
Oh, it's a pretty good size.
This one was the size of my hand. Of course, it had been flattened a little bit, but had the tail, had all this going on, and
Yeah. Man.
like snake skins, a lizard, but it's a
Yeah.
horny toad. And I saw another one outside the horny toad just here yesterday. So I don't know if it's
Oh, wow.
that time of year. If I've seen 2 that have been squashed on the road, that means there's 2,000
You've
that I
seen more.
haven't
You've
seen.
seen 2 more than anyone else has seen in a
I
long
couldn't
time.
believe it. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, wow.
I see interesting stuff on my jogs.
Okay. You have.
What you got for us?
Well, you're talking about patriotism and July 1, but we're having a July 4th activity on July 1st. Only because July 1st is a Saturday. July 4th
Yeah,
is a
Saturday.
Tuesday.
Right,
So
right.
that makes little things a little different. Then we have our community here. A lot of folks come from the Dallas, Austin, Fort Worth area for the weekend.
Right.
So we decided the chamber is putting together, going on our 3rd year of
Sure,
doing
sure.
this July 4th activity, which is
Great.
kind of cool. We have a little flyer here. If I can put that up there like this. Can you see that? If not,
And
that's
resume
okay.
into
Resume
that.
if you can. Am I in
There
the
he
way
goes.
there? I'm in the way. Got to
This
get
way
up.
with maybe, yeah, right
Yeah,
about here.
there you go.
There
Let's
we
do
are.
that. What it shows is exactly what we're trying to do on July 4th. We'll have some floats.
Saturday, July
So
1st.
July 1st, we'll have some July 1st. Inflatables, we'll have hot dogs, snow,
Wow.
we'll have, whatever activity a kid would like to have, from apple dunking to pie eating contests.
Wait a minute.
to-
I haven't heard of a pie eating contest
Oh, you haven't really?
since the
Oh.
movies. I mean, I hear about it, but I've never actually been around or
July
near
1st.
an actual one. What
bet.
kind of pie, Ed?
Well, we'll have.
Tell them what they've won,
Hey,
Ed.
we'll come on right up, Ed. Come on. We have kind of a chocolate-filled pie with whipped cream on top of it, and the kids just love getting their faces smacked in that one. Last year, for example, we had the kid get so deep in his pie he had to come up for air, couldn't breathe. We had to stop everything, cleaned this kid up a little bit, and resume.
That's the stuff that memories are
between
made
pie
of,
eating
and lawsuits.
and balloon toss and water slides. And
You got a water slide?
We do. We have actually. Well, this last one didn't show, but we'll show you, Brian. We got 3 different
Oh, it's like
Floatable-
inflatable castle water slide
inflatable
things.
castles and
Oh, I've seen this.
Lucasins
Yeah,
and all this
that's
kind of
like
stuff.
Gilligan's Island.
It is, and we'll have 3 of them this year. 2 slides and 1 obstacle course.
This is
last
really
year
cool.
we had 1 slide, and it was almost too big that the little ones were intimidated by it. So we're getting
3 slides.
lesser size slides, so the kids won't be too intimidated. The small ones won't be too
2
intimidated.
giganto inflatable water slides, and then the last one looked like a giant sports obstacle course.
It is. Obstacle
That looks
course.
pretty fun.
So we start at 8 o'clock setting all this thing up, and we're right across from the Toad here on the vacant lot.
Yeah, right over here.
Right over here.
Yeah.
We'll do our tents where the kids will have kiddie pools and the tents that are shade. We'll have.
Now I know where I'm going to be.
Let me see. Yeah, you got to come.
Oh,
Between
yeah. I don't,
apple bobbing,
if it happens
balloon
across the
toss,
street, I don't miss it usually.
pie eating contest, watermelon eating contest,
Wait a minute. This is
come on
this is
now.
like all the cool stuff
Between
they
the hot
show
dogs,
in movies that you never
bet.
see until you're in the Gap. I mean,
Well,
this
welcome to
is
the Gap. You bet.
watermelon eating contest.
Yep.
And I'm sure the Twitch is lighting up because of that.
Uh-oh. That's good.
Who knows?
Hey,
Pie eating contest.
right, pie eating.
You say bobbing for apples?
Bobbing for and the kids love bobbing for apples. We get a kind of 100-gallon trough, fill it with water, and then add a few apples. We had two dozen apples.
Oh, this is-
The apples are twice the size of the kid's head. you know?
Yeah.
So when they go down and they love, I mean, we have some kids go shoulder deep trying to get an apple. So and they love it.
Grab them by the ankles,
we do.
pull
We-
them out.
We resuscitate the apple when
Sure.
it's done.
Yeah.
The kids are okay. The apples, it's terrible what they have to do with the apples. But all the funds that, and it's donation. Everything's donation, free will donation.
Sure.
All the funds raised go to chamber projects. Like for this year, we started what is called a tutor scholarship program with in relationship to the school, where seniors that want to and have the knowledge in subject language, they will tutor the kids who need extra support in the elementary program. The seniors will teach the elementary school kids, those who need the
That's
additional
great.
support. And instead of getting, they keep their time per hour. Instead of getting a dollar amount per hour in a check or something like that, they accumulate that money, and at the end of the year, they get scholarships to the school that they want to go to,
Right,
whether it
right.
be college, trade, whatever they want to do, just as long as it's a secondary type school. And this year, we started this past semester, started in January of this year, and we gave out scholarships a little larger, a little higher than $1,000 for 3 tutors
Wow.
this year. So it turned out nicely. So that's one project it goes to. We have this thing that it kind of covers as well. We've
Sure.
got additional things with the school that we do. So they're
It says here there's a
projects working.
newcomers welcome dinner too.
And after that, this is the kids' fun day is from 11 to 3.
It's all day. So the
And
fun day is 11 to 3.
And then the newcomers dinner starts at, it says 7, but we kind of start between 6 and 6:30 with a silent auction and sangria, kind of
Sure.
make the tour and,
Uh-huh.
and look at all of your private auction type things.
Yeah.
And we'll start that. And then the dinner is the barbecue dinner, and that's at the community center starting at 6:30, 7 o'clock.
Yum.
And again, all the proceeds, it's free will donation. Again, all the project money received go to chamber projects. So
This
what can
is
I
great.
say?
I mean, this
Yeah,
is
4th
where
of July
Saturday is
weekend or
going to be.
July
Now, is there
7th?
fireworks too somewhere?
Well, they're not until the 4th of July. Well,
Not till the 4th?
Last year we had this event on the 4th, and we had fireworks right after it. And the fireworks are up at the school. We did. The community provides. Whoever wants fireworks brings their own fireworks and sits down
Sure.
and shoots off the fireworks at the school up here. So last year was very congested because we had people who were at the newcomers dinner, then from there, the newcomers dinner to the fireworks, and we had an unexpected amount of people. And,
Does that mean an
limited
unexpected amount
parking.
of pyrotechnics too?
Yes, limited amount of just about everything.
Yeah, if it's at the
so,
school,
but
there
it's
is a
at the
limited
school.
amount of parking there because
There
you can
is.
always pull up near the football field and put a few
can.
vehicles there.
Yeah, well, this year we decided to not try to combine the two. So you have the dinner,
Right.
and then on 4th of July you have your
Right,
fireworks. So
right.
make everything safe.
That
and
was
calm
probably
and cool.
smart.
Well, for us, it's going to work out a little bit better than what it did last year. So we're working on that one. So we
Well,
get
this
better
is
each year.
great.
Each year we're.
This is great. Well,
It'll
my
be the
kids will
third year
have fun.
for the kids' fun thing, and the second year for the newcomers' welcome dinner. So.
Isn't there like, do you guys do here? Do you do like some competitive games for the adults? Like, is there like a, like a tackle football game?
I don't think
like
that's
a newcomers to the
that's a
community.
great idea. I think we
Newcomers
should-
football game. In my
Water
former
balloons
life, I worked
between
with a lot of
parent and-
athletes.
yeah,
and
wa-
I worked
water-
with a lot-
Yeah, that's it. Competitive game, water balloon with the kids and the moms and dads.
Oh,
That'd be
these
great. Okay,
competitive
they'd love that
alpha
one.
male guys. We need to have a newcomers football game. You got the football field up there,
We don't.
but it's summer, so you
Well,
just have baseball, maybe
Then
softball. Game.
softball. We
How
actually
about
did
a
talk
softball?
about a tournament or softballs related, something like that. In the
As long as it's not
yeah.
over 85 degrees or something.
forget
that
that,
would
this
be-
time of year. Forget that. Or in the
Today's
mud.
nice.
Or in the mud. One or the
Today's
other.
nice. It's been
either 100
raining
degrees
since
or
4 a.m.
dry, or 70 degrees in the mud. So
Have
there you
you-
go. It could be one of those others.
Part of the roads out here are already covered with water and
They're
flood. There's a
perfect.
creek going across 4120.
Backstroke,
Yeah.
dive and backstroke. There you go. Competitive
Yeah.
swing in the in the bar ditch. Competitive swimming in the bar ditch this time of year. Perfect.
Stay in your lane. There's only one lane. Are you kidding me?
yeah. Stay in that lane.
Yeah,
it's true. There's only one lane.
It gets too hot for maybe a softball game. But hey, well, Ed, this is great. What did you have in the tube? What was in the tube?
Oh, tube. I wanted to show you.
Is that what you shoot fireworks out of?
I haven't seen this yet. We're gonna stretch this out. This is our little banner.
Oh, you haven't seen this yet?
I haven't seen this yet.
All right, let's go for it.
I'll
make some room.
Yeah, make some room.
And remember,
Change it every year.
if you're a representative for one of our local
there we go.
towns in the Bosque area, you too can bring your banner to Texas Big Star Live, and we'll show it on the air. So you haven't seen this or proofread it. It could say anything.
We're to make sure our proofreader did what they sure were supposed to do. Monday, nice Saturday. Okay, there we go. Okay, you saw that?
Live proofreading.
Let me move my way, and you come back that way.
Okay, we'll do this.
I'll use this as a thumbnail for
There
you.
we go. Good thumbnail. Okay, this is what. That's what I wanted to make sure.
Come up a little bit.
Let's go this
Above
way.
the microphone.
Come up
There we go.
a little bit. Up here.
Come on the microphone.
Up this way.
Oh, that way.
There you go.
Okay.
Sweet.
I just wanted to make sure everything was good on this side.
Give it a nice tug. There we go.
There we go, a nice tug. All right, perfect. Now everyone else can come in and
Fantastic.
show their banner too. There we go.
And thumbnail.
Thumbnail, perfect.
There you
We'll
go.
hang it up. Yeah, we'll see this around town. See this on the corner. Yeah, I'll just take it from behind you. Yeah, now that we've all seen it, now that we just proofed it, Brian. Thank you for your proof.
Glad to
You're good.
help out.
You're a good band. I don't care what anyone says about you. You're all right.
Yeah, well, I don't listen to. What do they say about me?
Oh, I'm not. You know, for me, it'd be third person. You want that? You want direct from the horse's mouth, and that, you know.
Right.
Even though they call me Mr. Ed sometime, I'm not going to go there.
Mr. Ed.
I'm not going to go there. No, sir.
Oh, well, our Twitch community has no idea what that is. Wilbur.
That's pretty good.
Mr. Ed.
You know,
You don't
Jake,
see, really?
I do.
Yeah, do you?
Yep.
See?
Peanut butter.
peanut butter. Oh, that's cool. Get some talking.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
See?
You give peanut butter to a horse, it makes them talk like that. And that's how they got the horse to. Dogs the same way.
I was going to say, I do that to our dogs. I love peanut butter.
Same way with me. Give me
Yeah.
peanut butter, gets me talking. Well, Ed, wonderful.
Get the jiffy. Yeah. No,
This is
appreciate
great.
it.
I know where I'm going to be this
On 4th of July.
a week from
Yeah.
today.
Do that.
And I think the
Week
weather,
today, that's
I think
right.
the rain is going to have moved out. Hey, can we get a forecast maybe?
I hope. I haven't
Let's
looked
get
at
our
the Farmer's Almanac, so I don't
let's
know
get
what
our
it's gonna
R&D
do on us.
department,
Yeah, I don't know
R&D
what, I don't-
folks to check the weather for Cranfills Gap.
Check the Farmer's Almanac. That works for me. I don't see how they
Have you-
do that. I have not seen how those farmers can really do
Do
an
you go by
almanac.
the almanac?
I do. It works.
And it's right.
It's worked for me.
Makes
It
you
does.
wonder who those farmers really are.
You're darn good. I know. It's like they have a crystal ball.
Do they team up with NASA, or are they like sages of years gone by?
They're actually what?
Sages
There
of
you go.
old.
Wizards.
go.
Wizards. There we go. on
Saturday, July 1st. Is that no? Not today. How about?
That's today.
That's today.
No, how about
No,
July
we need
1st?
July 1st.
Come on now.
First.
Yeah, it's
Get that almanac.
get a forecast. There we go. 93.
93.
Could be worse. Could be 102.
Let me see. At 1 o'clock. It's supposed to be rain. Is that? That's not. That grid underneath there, is that actually rain for Saturday at 1 o'clock? Oh, that's AM. Okay, we're good.
Yeah, Saturday in the AM.
Okay.
Huh?
I think
little
we're
rain
good.
in the AM.
Excellent.
That'll good to cool it off.
Okay, 93. Oh, this kid's gonna love that water. That slide. Yep. Those hot dogs. Come on up for a hot dog.
hot
you know.
dogs.
It's going to be raining for the next 3 days.
Here
Which
good.
it is.
Yeah. My vineyard's gonna love that rain. Oh boy.
Vineyard.
I do. Yes.
Tell us about the vineyards.
Oh man, that kills. I planted 750 plants in April, and it just about killed me. But the plants are doing great,
Oh, they have
and
to
I
be doing
survived.
great. They've gotten plenty of water.
I know that's good, and I did what I should have done in my vineyard maintenance. I killed weeds this past week, expecting this rain to come in. So I have 750 plants. I had 3 that didn't come up, which is pretty darn good. I'm really pleased with that.
If you only have 3 that didn't work, so how many acres is this over?
Well, it's 2 acres
Sure.
and high fence. Tempranillo, it's a red wine.
Oh, sure.
This-
Oh, yeah. I'm
this
familiar.
This is a phase 1. My phase 2 will be some type of white wine. Give me 2.5 years. to
Gewürztraminer, something
generate.
like that. Something that'll grow out here.
You know, I'm not sure what my white section will be, my white wine section. But this one,
Chard,
first,
maybe?
I don't know. I like a good Tempranillo. We'll start with the red.
Yeah. So you don't care about white wine, really.
I don't know why. I like that red. Let's go with the red.
So you like something that's got a little bit of acidity, and maybe an oaky finish on it.
I do.
That's your
Yeah, and right now we think we'll probably see how they go, and we'll sell the first generation, I guess, of grapes when they're ready to go, and think about doing a winery potentially. But I keep saying that you have to be half chemist to do wine, and I'm not a chemist. So
you
if
have to
my
be
daughters get involved in that,
what's the word for those guys? I've met and talked to them. I forget it. And someone who's a wine.
Okay, get our desk. Where
But R&D department. R&D department.
We need a
folks
term.
that are.
Winemakers,
in whiskey, I know I've talked to the guys at George Dickel, and they're up in my neck of the woods in Tennessee. They're called master distillers, and they have to know about that. But someone who is the person in charge of making sure the pH and all of the winemaking process.
There is a term.
Yeah, vintner. There you go.
Vintner.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say it covers a lot of territory there, but
vintner. Yeah.
But that's a whole other scale of there you go, winemaker, vintner.
And a person who is a wine connoisseur, it starts with an O or something like that. I want to say I could be completely wrong. Or an alcoholic.
Okay. That's a smart lady back here.
Yeah, that's my wife. That's it, sommelier. Yes.
That starts with an A. Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah, I was close.
Oh,
It had an A at the end.
It was
I-E-R.
Oh yeah, that's close.
Sommelier.
Yeah.
Sommelier.
That's pretty good.
There we are.
But winemaking is a whole new financial obligation and all
It
that,
is.
and the equipment, and people say, well, if you're going to get into winemaking, why don't you try to buy equipment from a winery that is going out of business,
Right.
or second whatever. And I'm not quite there yet. So
Well, that's fascinating.
potentially, but we have want to build out to about 12 acres if I live that long. With this first phase of 2 acres, we just find second phase of white wine, and then kind of work my way down towards a lake, which we have, and gotta have the area for it.
With
so
farmland,
make it
you
a destination.
can irrigate from the lake, can you not?
You can. A lot of people say not to, only because of the debris that you'll pull up through
Right.
the irrigation system. We do have a well, but there's too much sodium in that water, so I combine it. I also have a rainwater recovery system.
Yes.
So I want to combine the 2 or the 3, depending on water sources and water availability. Like today, if I had my water retention going well and my tank's up, it's a great day for water recovery. But combine those and irrigate. I have everything I need to do to irrigate, but I just have to run that. I've got to get out there and do it. That's all.
Yeah,
That's all it
you
is.
have to
You
do
just
it.
have
So
to
you're
do it.
when do you expect fruit?
About 2 years from now, 2.5.
Right.
Going on 3rd year.
So you're saying the grapes they really won't show up until
well,
2 years
you'll
from now.
have
You'll have some.
which you
but
just
it
have
won't
to
be
start.
the vintage won't be worth
Right,
really
no.
messing with.
And
you have
you'll
to
work
cultivate
with,
that.
Exactly. You'll work with a winery that would want that type of grape, and you'd have to work with that winery as to the sugar and the pH and all that.
And you have to
that
trim the
one.
branches from the vine. If
gotta
you don't
do the
trim,
trim.
you won't get fruit.
That's right.
Yeah,
'cause-
people don't realize that. Oh, don't cut those leaves off. Well,
and
if you got to cut some of them off, otherwise there's no fruit that's there. You trim the branches,
Well,
and that's biblical, by the way.
That's
it's true.
That's true.
I mean, that was an agrarian society back then. Some of those words in red, it's not because those monks were drinking Cabernet. Actually, take that back.
They
might have
probably
been.
were. That's right.
So you trim the branches from
you
the
do
vine
your
and get fruit. So it takes
training.
about 2 years.
It's about 2 years, and I'm putting together what is called a double Geneva trellis system, to where I have first base wire, then you go up a little higher, and then you have 2.
Yeah.
You go up a little higher and have 2
You can
more.
tell I'm interested in
You
this.
are.
I've thought about doing this
Really?
for a long time. In my
Oh,
neck of the
wow.
woods, where I'm from, there's a town called Arrington.
Okay.
And it was just down Interstate 65, about 25 minutes from where I grew up. Now, it didn't used to be anything out there when I was growing up, but just rolling farmland and hills, cattle. Brentwood, Franklin, and the entire county has just burgeoning. Doesn't describe it. It's exploded. And so about 7 years ago, some guys got together, one of who was Kix Brooks of Brooks and Dunn.
Oh, wow, that's nice. Yeah.
And he is one of the owners, if not the chief owner, of Arrington Vineyards.
Wow.
And they are producing and putting out some of the most decorated and award-winning vintages and blends. And, of course, they take grapes from all over. When you're doing a vineyard and a winery like that, you're taking sources here and there, but a lot of it is a Tennessee grown right there.
Yeah.
And in fact, I've spoken with their vintner before, and they were getting new tanks just a couple years ago. But the wineries in Tennessee have just sprouted. And where my wife is from, in Washington State, a lot of these places where she kind of grew up near Walla Walla, they used to grow.
Which Walla?
The other
Walla?
both of them, Walla and Walla.
Walla?
Walla Squared. The Walla Walla sweet onion is where, historically, there's a Walla Walla sweet onion. It's called the Walla Walla, right?
Right.
You would correct me, and it is a lot of volcanic soil that's in the area, and just throughout the last 60, 70 years, that's what it's been known for. Well, the farm industry did this, and so the farmers converted their land into wineries in the last 20 years, and there's I don't know, 4 or 5 great vineyards. Some of them, St. Michael, Saint Michel's.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Gewürztraminer grape grows great up there. Or I guess it's the Gewürztraminer.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a grape or it's actually a wine.
Well,
I don't know enough about it yet.
Similar situation of cotton growers. One that I'm familiar, a farmer or in Lubbock did the same thing. He went from cotton to leasing out segments of his pasture for vineyards who wanted to grow a specific type of grape, and he would grow the grape, do the trellis, do the maintenance, and whenever the grape was ready, then that winery would come out and harvest that grape. And that's
so he managed and operated everything for them.
For them, yeah, and they had a specific section of his particular property.
If they're doing different vintages and different wines, they're going to want different kinds of grapes.
And he's doing real well.
That's a lot of work, but I bet he is. If you've got a lot of land to do it, that's what it would take.
Different ag type of situation, but like you were saying, going from ag into a grape environment.
Right.
You know, some say that. Yeah, I hate to put this out there, but some say Texas wines are better than the California wines. But I don't want to get any California people mad at me.
Well, I mean,
but the industry in Texas
it depends
is growing.
on your
Let's just say
palate
that.
too. The Texans have a certain palate, and
the industry is growing here in Texas specifically. We're just nothing like California at this point. We're just getting started. You know,
a lot of it is the soil and the climate, and it's finding the grape that'll grow in your particular area.
Yeah. When you talk about trimming and maintaining your trellises and your leaf production, I've got Tempranillo is a fast-growing, a very aggressive vine.
Yeah, it's a quick grow.
And the soil I have is also good. The soil hasn't been planted probably since the time that my in-laws, and this is my wife's family's property, that farm property that had been in the family for over 100 years that has never been cultivated, only because there was too many rock in the soil. So what I did is I took that section, removed the rock.
What did you use to remove the rock?
I have plenty of rock. If you want rock, I've got some rock for you. Hard labor, excavator, a bobcat with a
when you say
bucket
rocks,
on it,
like the size of this table?
like the size of this table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
a small rock. I'm from Middle Tennessee.
Oh
That's
yeah,
a small
this
rock.
small rock. This is plenty.
In
So we
Middle
moved the
Tennessee,
rock.
you dig down about this
That's
far,
it.
and it's kink.
Yeah, that's.
And then if you hit it real hard with a big steel tapper, and you feel your friend is 12 feet away going, yeah, I can feel that. You know that's a big rock. You need to move on. Find a different place for your fence.
And you try to, we'll do one of these things. And there goes that rod.
Pretty soon you pulled up something the size of a pickup truck. Yeah. So that's a lot of work.
That's why I said this. Putting in this first phase is just about killed me. If you go out to our place now, you'll see a row of rocks probably from here to across the street, 2 or 3 feet high rock columns that we've began cleaning up to our second section.
Here's what you do. I mean, I'm just spitballing here. Here's what you do.
Okay.
You take the rocks, And on the other side, if you have any other land, you take those rocks and you build up just some little, almost like little walls.
The rock walls.
Here and there, all over the place. And then you do airsoft and paintball. And that one.
Oh, excellent. Oh,
That would be awesome.
So you get
that's a great idea. Exactly what I want in a
and
video,
then
but that's good.
Put it, have some of the, we got folks like Clayton, some other folks
Yeah.
that cut cedar, have them make you some
Oh, yeah.
fences and
Oh,
barricades
yeah.
like that. So folks would go over and do a wine tasting, and then you give them airsoft rifles.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. That's a great idea. Whenever. Are they good at birds hunting? We can do that same thing. Birds love vine or grapes. And that's another problem, keeping birds away from the grapes.
now
Get those
you're-
guys out there.
Wait a
with
second.
salt.
That's an idea.
Perfect.
So
Perfect.
long, styrofoam, fiberglass owls. Don't need those anymore. No scarecrows. You get the guys with the airsoft and and paintball to keep the birds.
So, I
Think
should have
about
come.
that,
I should have
Ed.
come here before. That's
Think about
great.
that.
Think about that. Yes. Either that or play Beethoven or Mozart. I understand that works too to keep the
Does
birds
that keep
away.
birds
That's
away?
what I understand.
What's
yes.
wrong with birds? They don't like classical music?
I guess not. I don't know.
They'd rather listen to Roger McGuinn and the Birds?
Possibly.
Possibly.
You would have to ask one. I don't. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, look at here. Chaz is here.
All right. Well, I'll step away then. Hey, Chaz.
Chaz, our guest. Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, wonderfully.
Nice. Hey.
Wonderfully. Hey, how are you doing and what time is it there?
The time is 6:18 p.m. and I'm okay. I'm a little bit sad. I'm kind of multitasking ever so slightly because I'm actually in the Apple store because this is the time they gave me my appointment. But they're not attending to me, so hey.
So, a little background. The reason
Yeah.
she's in the Apple store. Yesterday,
basically-
we caught up. We were doing a little test for our video, and she goes, "I'd love to get on with my laptop, but," and then she showed me a picture of her screen, which was the recovery window for Mac computers, right there.
Wow.
It basically doesn't understand that there's a hard drive in it anymore. So it's pretty much dead in the water right now.
Oh, no.
Yeah. What can you do, eh? What can you do?
Well,
it just...
I'm feeling your
Like,
pain. I've got
what
a
is
Mac with a virus, and then Jake's going to fix it for me sometime in the next
I forgot
24
about
hours.
that.
Jake.
I need
Another
a Jake.
assignment.
Yeah. So,
I told him I'd give him $20.
so Chaz, this is
Such a guy.
this is Ed.
Such a guy. Hey,
Chaz, this is Ed.
hello.
He's
Fist bump.
involved with the Chamber of Commerce in Cranfills Gap here. Give us a little backstory, or for Ed at least, as to the last time you were on Texas Big Star Live.
Last time I was outside in a public space as well. We were at VidCon Europe, which was held in Amsterdam. And it was an amazing place. It was an amazing convention. And I met Jake and everyone else. And it was a bit hectic because there was a lot of people, a lot of other creators there as well. But it was an incredible, amazing experience. And I'm so glad that I was able to meet Barry and everyone basically. And I've got his hat at home. And I have the shirt still repping. And I've got my mug on my desk. So next time I actually can be on the show whilst at home, I'll show you guys everything. Because I love you guys. It's so cool.
All right.
Oh, we appreciate that. Yeah, Jake had a great time there at VidCon, and he was really pleased to meet you and speak with you, so we're happy that you're on. What have you been up to since VidCon?
Been posting a lot of videos, I must admit, and I'm actually trying to... I went to the Caribbean and I've shot a vlog that's coming out on Wednesday. I'm going to be posting from 4 times a week from July. So just trying to ramp up what I do on social media and YouTube, covering more motivational topics and topics that people are afraid to talk about. They're a little bit controversial, if you will. Like, for instance, I had one where I just asked my friends, who just happen to be white, to ask me questions that they probably wouldn't want to ask, are afraid to ask, because I was like, just get it out. And it was good to have that open air. I want to have discussions like that on my channel as well. Just get, clear everything up. I think that's very healthy, especially in the world right now where everyone's like, "Ooh, you can't offend anyone. What if you say this?" Ooh, no.
Right. I hear you. Yeah, the world's getting really touchy. Everybody does.
Exactly.
Nobody wants to be offended.
Yeah, and I feel like unless you have discussions and conversations, then you're always going to have a barrier. And then is that barrier actually a good thing? If everyone's trying to be closer together by not offending each other, then why not just, break it down of like, this is why I voted for this person, like, oh, okay, cool,
Right.
I respect that. You have your views and your opinions, and like, I get that. Why can't you just do that and we'll come together that way instead?
Yeah, that's very good.
That I don't know if that's a popular opinion with a lot of younger people in the world. So it's refreshing to hear that from people we were able to hang out with overseas.
Yeah.
Well, there's always going to be people getting offended. Offenses
no matter
must
what you
come. That verse comes to mind. It's going to happen somewhere, somehow. Hey, do you think it's easy for people to get offended because we hold such things in regard that become almost things in our lives or our hearts that are our own little gods? What do you think?
I get that, as in like you've had a belief for so long that once someone even goes near it, you're like, don't you dare, and basically being offended is a way of guarding it. I think it's tricky because then it's essentially someone's belief is their core. So if they truly are offended, it's like, okay, I didn't mean to step on your toes. I just didn't know where the line was for you and I as individuals. But then when people generalize stuff like that, oh no, you're just plain not being offensive. But am I to that individual that I'm speaking to? I think that's the gray area that no one's really talking about. Like, it goes so far. I think everyone's just a bit too. They're scared. Everyone's scared to say anything.
Right.
Well, like I'm a cross like that anymore.
We have, obviously we had our
Controversial.
I can't hear you, Jake. I'm so sorry. Go again. Here we
hey.
go. I got you.
There we go. Sweet. Obviously, we had our 2016 controversial election that people were a little up in arms about. And then you guys have recently had voting as well. So there's some parallels, definitely.
I was saying to everyone that our election felt like your 2016 election, and the way it went was so similar to the way that it went with you guys. Like, no one was like, oh, I wouldn't vote for Trump, and then they actually voted for Trump. A lot of people saying, no, I would never vote for Labour, I would never vote for Corbyn, and then went and voted for Corbyn and Labour. And now there's upset amongst the entire country, like, well, you're all idiots. But are they? Because they genuinely thought that was the best thing for the country. And with everything that's coming out now, like the May has done and stuff like that, it's making people very, very divided. We're already divided by Brexit. Now we're divided by this again. It's It's not healthy for a country.
Well, it's funny that you accidentally segued into our question for today, and I didn't send this to her, so this is just completely cold.
Oh, I see.
But today, next week is July 4th, and for
Independence Day.
yes, well, there you go. in the United States here and overseas has a very strong patriotic. Especially the exterior, everything that we do, and there's lots of patriotic people. And the question is, we have two questions. The question is, for you, if you do, how do you show patriotism and for your country? And also, how does your country show patriotism as a whole?
We don't.
Really?
That's the... Hi, let me 2 seconds. That is the problem which a lot of people find these days, is that we can't fly our own flags and stuff like that, because you literally have to take them down. I'm on a live show. Yeah, if you like. I mean, I'm just gonna. You guys need to take it there. I pulled up.
Okay, so just when you finish.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. All right. So there are cases in the UK where if you were flying an England flag from your house, someone from India, let's say, because that's the one that I personally remember, the police will come to your door and tell you to take it down.
Really?
Yeah.
And why is that? Do you think that's not law, or is it?
It's technically not law, but then you'd be like disturbing the peace, so then that is a law.
Okay.
And the reason so that they've given in the past that I have heard is that it offends me. But you're in England, and the Welsh can fly it, so why the Scots can fly their flag, so why can't we?
Yeah.
That is a big thing about it. But the way that I personally show my patriotism, I can't say the word now. The way I show it is I'm proud to be British. I'm proud of my flag. I'm proud of my country. If someone is taking the mickey out of England, it's not going to work for me. And I think like celebrating our British culture, like which is diverse to be fair,
Yeah.
by going to events that is in the hearts of the British people, that's showing you like, yeah, I'm proud to be British. I think like the royal family, the monarchy, like showing support for them, that is tea, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a British thing to do. Going to pubs, I think someone might put me out on this, but if you're British or you're English, you go to the pub.
Yeah. Well, but
Straight up,
but
like,
we were.
that's how you should taste it.
I think we were talking about this with who was it? So we were talking about how the pub culture in the UK is an important part of the community. Like that, it's like bars in the United States are kind of viewed as usually, you know, rough and tumble kind of people. You know, places that you don't want to let your kids go. Obviously, the Horny Toad is more of like in our community, it's kind of a big deal because one, it's one of the few places you can go out and eat, and two, it's friendly to all of the community, whether, you know, all walks of life, which is one of the reasons why we're so glad to be able to do our show here. But usually in the U.S., the rest of these, you know, like hole-in-the-wall bars are associated with like people you don't want to hang out with because they're, you know, rude or they're rough or they're, you know, but it seems very different because in pubs in the UK, it's an important part of the community. It's how
And
people
Europe in general.
and
Europe
in general, and it's a place for people to communicate and to grow.
It was the
and-
social place.
Yeah.
When I lived in Poland, we regularly met in a pub every week, and this was my wife and I lived there, and this was purely for outreach ministry purposes. There was a pastor friend of mine beginning a church that he wanted to attract college students there. This is in Krakow, Poland, Jagiellonian University, oldest university in the world. 80,000 students are there. So we met at a pub every week, and that was part of the church's outreach. We were teaching English conversation to the Poles, Polish students, and then teaching them English and English phrases to help them. Many of them wanted to graduate and to get jobs in the U.S. And but it was a social gathering for them, and they enjoyed it, and it was very normal.
Yeah.
Very normal.
Yeah.
I think you guys are absolutely right. If you work, you go to the pub afterwards with your colleagues mainly. Like, it's encouraged to do so.
Sure.
Mainly because like things that you wouldn't have said in the office or at work, you then kind of been like, hey, you know, after a few drinks, that wasn't cool. I didn't appreciate being spoken to like that. And you guys get to clear the air and continue. You know, and it's weird to only know someone in like a professional setting versus you're still being professional because technically you're still at work, but you're looser. You know, when you get to know someone better, therefore you have a better bond, and you feel like you guys work easier once you're back at work. And families obviously go to the pub. Like, it's not uncommon to see little kids running around because it's kind of ingraining it from like a young age. Like, you can see someone else's children at the pub, and then when you're adults, you can do the same. Bring your kids. It truly is the social pastime. Like, I guess, am I wrong to say like that's baseball in the States? Or like watching a game, like with everyone, and they got chips,
Right.
you know, and beers. That's or barbecues. That's what we
That
do.
culture has kind of begun to be, because now that I think about it, we have like bar and grills are different than like bars. In the US, we call them bar and grills.
Yeah.
And like the bar and grills are like there's chains that are bars, and then like wings and food and Americanized food, and those are very. Now that I think about it, those are very like family oriented as well. Like bring your kids, as long as it's not like Hooters or something horrible like that.
You can get into
but
a
even
gray
though,
area there.
Yeah, there's still families that take their but the just to clarify, earlier you said they'll come to your door about the flags hanging. Are you talking about flags from other countries, or even flags from
flags from the UK?
Yeah, he's flying the UK flag.
Like the Union Jack or England specifically.
Yeah.
The problem is there's a group called the English Defence League. Now, every time you see an England flag, you cannot help but associate it with someone who would belong to that group. Now, it's not riots, but there's protests and demonstrations that happen on high streets where kids are and stuff like that. So people don't like the English Defence League because it's seen as like you're just upsetting a community.
Yeah.
That all these feelings just weren't present. But then the people who are part of it, usually they are working class and stuff like that. You wouldn't really see like someone who is middle class would probably be just a bit less showy about their disdain, if you will. Like, they use less upfront tactics to get what they want and have the community that they want. I'm going to be very diplomatic about that. But that is why we can't really show our national pride. Like, we'll have it in adverts, and we'll feel the come together moments like the Olympics, the World Cup, like sporting events. That is openly accepted. Bring out the flags. The monarchy, sure, but if you just want to hang it from, like, if you live in a flat and you want to hang it from your banister, chances are you will get a complaint, and if you continue to do it, you will probably go.
So it's the context. The context matters of where those symbols show up. So
I think it's a bit like the southern.
The Confederate flag, very much so. Yeah. Well, and there's a lot of
battle flag.
Exactly.
There
There's
were
a lot
13
of
flags of the Confederacy.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in the U.S. right now who are, that's a big topic right now, because right now not only are the Confederate flags obviously a sign of racism for a lot of people.
They've been used as that.
It's and right now a lot of people in the public eye, that's their perspective.
Oh, sure.
And then there's also monuments to Confederate generals that were part of the Confederate Army that are being removed because they're being defaced by people all over, where people are very unhappy that there are still monuments to these Confederate generals. Despite the historical, there's a lot of different perspectives you can take on either side of that argument. But because of, even the historical relevance of these Confederate generals, it's not being respected, no matter what they stood for.
Right.
There's a lot of different political problems that people are taking with that. Yeah.
Okay. So, remember, I wasn't born, but remember when the Berlin Wall came down?
I don't, because I was a little young.
Yes, I do.
when they it fell, and it used to stand as like this is what stood for the past. I don't know, but I don't believe that there's Nazi generals up in Germany. So on that side, I can understand why people would want it down as an outsider, but at the same time, I'm a big history buff. So I feel like that's a bit far, but then Germany have already kind of been like, not the greatest part of our history and what we stood for. Let's not have like Hitler, in a public place.
Well,
that's tricky.
Well, and here's I'm going to say something that probably isn't popular with either group, which is if you really study the Civil War, if slavery had been the only reason for the war happening, it would not have happened. There were so many different social issues within politics at that time that pushed the Civil War. Obviously, that was one of the biggest byproducts was the abolition movement. That was the what we read in our history books. But if you study more, there were so many other factors that contributed to the Civil War happening. So whenever people talk about like the history of the Civil War, there's a lot of people who will be very careful to stay away from that that side of the politics and speak more on all the other topics, and some people will use that as a defense of why people fought for what they fought for.
Right.
However, the entire world rallied against Hitler and the Nazis. So that is a little harder to defend. I'm not defending either side. I'm just saying that there is a different historical relevance to the Civil War than there was for World War II, and that's why there are a larger group of people. Because you're right, the Germans, if it is illegal to make certain references and do certain things in Germany that pertain to the Nazi belief. So, and they're very strict about that because that is something that, they've tried to remove themselves far from for good reason. And there's a lot of people in the South who do that the same. It's just a smaller group of people, a little less in the public eye of the world. So that's kind of a hot topic whenever you get into it with certain people.
You have to look at it like she said, historically too.
Yeah.
You can't just ignore your past.
Yeah.
And you can't just sweep it under the rug and say it didn't happen. I mean, let's face it, after WW2, a lot of Europe became very pacifistic because war bad. Look at all I mean Germany, for instance, armistice, WW1, they lost that one, and then WW2. So the nation after World War II became very, very anti-war, a pacifism, if you will, and in that has opened the door in lots of Europe and where you are also to a thinking of, well, let's just get along with everybody, and then what happens is you lose your sovereignty as a nation also, because people coming into the country that don't necessarily share the values and beliefs of the nation that you are a part of, and then they say, this is offending me, so you can't fly your flag. So it's a slippery slope. Knowing your history, I mean, it's obviously, if you don't know it, you're doomed to repeat it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
and we always, I regularly talk about pendulum. Whenever something happens that changes a dynamic, or something very drastic or stressful for a community of people happens, they'll swing the other direction.
Sure, it's a knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah, and when we talk about global social issues and like we're talking about today, patriotism, those all fall under that category of being more moderate about things and taking a perspective as wide and broad as you can really does help. But, this happens over decades. It swings back and forth. I mean, that's decades of time. That's lifetimes where you live in a world that is a certain way because of that.
Right.
And we're dealing with that right now. And elections do that a lot. It just swings back and forth. People are unhappy with it, so it swings this way, and then people are unhappy with it, so it swings the other way.
I think individually, for me anyway, I have to look inside myself, knowing what I'm all about, where I came from, and go, what are the things that I'm willing to deal with, and what are the things in my life that are non-negotiable?
Yeah.
We all have to. You got to believe in something, or you'll fall for any. Stand for something, or you'll fall for anything. I mean, if you, Francis Schaeffer said it this way. I don't know if you never heard of Francis Schaeffer. He said, 20th century, at the time when he was living, 20th century man has his feet firmly planted in midair. And he was talking about real bedrock spiritual beliefs in creation. Where did I come from? Am I just lucky mud? Or am I? If I am, as our historical documents of patriotism tell us, we are each endowed with inalienable rights from our Creator. If that's true, then maybe that Creator has a say-so in how I should live my life. So there's some things in my life that are non-negotiable. A belief in God is one of them. A belief and a patriotism, a loyalty to my country, and all that it has done for the good. It has done some bad things too.
Yeah.
People make stupid mistakes. So there's a few things that I have to go, listen, these things are negotiable, but some that are not. Which brings me, I'm going to roll this around to the newest thing, is crosses being taken down in the U.S.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a big thing now. Just the same way that some of the Confederate monuments are being taken down.
Yeah.
Crosses are offending people in the U.S. and worldwide.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that I don't get, because you can't focus on one religion or like a religious belief of one and then not respect another. And especially if a country was like founded on one religion, to then be like, no. I feel like it's hard for us to accept, especially because we're not in the times of like we're taking over countries and like, you know, whatever was here before, nah, it's our turn now. Let me, like, when the Europeans were like, here's Christianity. But here's Jesus to countries that had never had a religion prior, you know, or like, but not in that era. So the idea of it happening to us is incredibly. I don't think we're gonna let it stand. And to me, it's like, cool, you can believe what you want to believe, that's fine. As long as it doesn't impact my personal well-being in any way, shape, or form, we are okay. Like, I am a Christian, but because of my personal background, I'm never going to be like, yeah, I understand that you're another religion, but you should totally convert to Christianity.
Yeah,
Like, Jesus.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I will like, no. Like, you're not okay because you don't believe in God. It's like, I hear you, I respect you as a human, and you can believe what you want to believe. I believe what I want to believe. I know I'm right, but yeah, cool.
Well, you've hit the nail on the head for a lot of people in the United States right now, because the response to crosses being taken down is a lot of people, and I'm going to try and play devil's advocate for both sides, which is a lot of people are very isolationist when it comes to, we are a Christian nation, and and Muslims are a threat to the United States because of terrorism, and it's a very blanket statement about the Islamic faith. And then on the other side of that, it is we are too isolationist, and we are a land of the free, and we should let them in. But and then the disconnect that you had, where it's like, that doesn't make much sense for us to really be understanding and accepting of all faiths. That includes Christianity. People are very upset that, you know, we're accepting of certain Islamic faith, but we're taking crosses down because that offends people. Right. And it's on both sides. It can be very hypocritical whenever you really look at it. And the problem is that it, like you said about the election in the United States was very polarizing. The elections, Brexit was very polarizing. The elections that y'all have, there's a lot of things going on right now that feel very polarizing. And when that happens, people stick a little closer to their. There's some people attribute what you were saying, this is non-negotiable, to things that a lot of other people find negotiable. And people hold to those systems of belief in a way that is less understanding, less accepting. And there's such thing as too accepting. There's such a thing as, you know, and that's where the rub is for a lot of people in the United States, because I feel like people have a right to be upset that these crosses are coming down. But you can't, I don't think that you can hold that belief without really, really pushing hard for the understanding and acceptance of other faiths and cultures, because there are people who are very upset about the crosses coming down, but are also fine with it happening to other people. And that's the rub, that's the problem, because it's very polarizing for a lot of people. So
it's very interesting thing to hear. It's like, I understand, like, would you say, like, you guys are quite, like, isolated in what you want to allow or not? Because if you do allow this, then potentially they have a say. Like, if you accept other religions inside and let them build their communities based around the religion, then they have eventually a majority say, and then the way of life and what you believe in is genuinely under threat. I feel like that's something that's here in the UK, where it's like, oh, and especially to do with immigration, is like, well, it's predominantly a Christian country, but now is it?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
that is the big question, because
Right.
where I lived, I moved, this is going to sound so bad, but where I used to live was a wonderfully rough area, I'll say it like that. But then you could see the shift. We had a lot of EU immigrants come in and settle, and then they shifted a little way, and then you had different people come in, and then suddenly, like, you could see like Islam, and families who were really, really religious and stuff. I'm not gonna say extremists, they're not, but they would be in mosque. Like, the first mosque in my town was just like, whoa. Then there was another, and then they had a community center, and then it started not to really feel like our town. And then a church would close, or like it would be changed. We had a church change into a primary school, which was a free primary school, but mainly basically kids who were Islamic went there, and it was just like, and I feel like what people won't say is exactly that. That's why organizations like the English Defense League and stuff like that exist. But
Sure.
it's like, a lot of people say you can't be multicultural, and I don't believe that's true.
Yeah.
Especially coming from a nation that essentially took things from others, like, all across the globe. And that's why there was jokes online, like, saying, "Oh, you invaded half the planet, and now you don't want to share." Like,
Yeah.
But the reality is, like, if you did take tea, if you did take, parts of your identity from other nations, and now you have different cultures from other nations inside your borders.
Sure.
What's the difference between you going out and taking it and it just existing? Like, you can go and have a Thai takeaway just down the road, or I could go and get like Indian food. I don't, but you get my point. It's literally on my doorstep, and that's a good thing. And I have no issues with anyone else, as if I was like in my new town, my new village, which is more predominantly Christian based and very conservative, shall we say.
Yeah.
There's no difference. But once you're used to having the multiculturalism, then just going back to like, oh, I can only have Italian unless I go out of my town, is a bit annoying, actually. I kind of want the flavor and the change for once, but I don't think you can have one without the other. But America, you guys have like everything.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, we really do.
But then you guys have kept us so, again, isolated at the same time, that it's very interesting as an outsider to watch. I don't know where the line is. I feel like you have to give if you want to take, but then, like you were saying, like, there is a line, but I don't think anyone truly knows where that line is right now, and we're all like,
well, yeah, and people are fighting for where that line, where the defined line is. And another, we talk about this very regularly. One of the reasons why we were excited to have the show and have international guests is, I don't know, every culture has a group of people, has people who, have a very isolationist worldview. Every culture has that. But it feels like the rest of the world puts a higher value on travel and multiculturalism. It feels that way. There are plenty of people in the United States who don't feel that way, but very regularly it's not necessarily a person's fault that they only know their culture, they only know their community, and they stay there.
Right.
And there's a lot of people like that that don't necessarily want to be that way. It's just how they've grown up. It's just the opportunities that they've been given, and it feels that just geographically, it's easier for us to kind of be where we're at. You go to Mexico, you go to Canada, and that's as far as you can go by car, and then you got to fly overseas. Right. It feels like especially with people at VidCon, we met a lot of people who had lived in 4 different countries and they were only 22.
yeah,
And it's like, that's normal for a lot of different people overseas, and that's not as normal
for the European continent. You're able to do that.
And what's funny is with the internet, it's in the United States, it's almost like idolized for younger people to have traveled and lived overseas, and it's become like the the unobtainable for the average American. It's like, oh, that's what you do if you're successful. And yet overseas, it's part of the culture, no matter where you're from, what walk of life you are.
Yeah,
And
well, like you said, it's a little easier. I mean, I've lived overseas and worked with students, college students that.
it's easier to
Yeah, they're going to
experience
go,
other cultures.
by the way, I'm going to go to Spain this summer.
And that's
for-
only a
for
4-hour
2
drive.
months. Yeah, or I'm going to get on the train. It
Yeah.
was like me. We could hop on a bus or a train in Poland, and, we could be in the Czech Republic.
Exactly.
And then we could go to Vienna and hang out there. Couldn't afford to stay very long. Expensive city.
Yeah.
At the time, it was the most expensive city to live in the world.
Wow.
It's still pretty
Somebody's
high.
getting,
What is
it is.
What is it now? Dubai?
They're all paying for that UN building downtown. While the rest of the place is historical ruins, the UN building looks awesome.
Oh my god.
But yeah, it was just. But it's a great. But you can do that in Europe. In America,
It's a
you're
little more
right.
difficult.
It's a little more difficult.
And like I said, a lot of that is not necessarily the culture of the United States. It's not necessarily all of these people's fault.
Oh sure.
And but it does affect the way that people's worldview is molded and shaped and grown, because it's more expensive. It really is like something that in the United States it is more expensive, and something that people with money or people who are really willing to spend their money get to do. And people are much more willing to invest in things closer to home.
They are.
And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but we do with the internet. Being able to do this is one of the reasons why we're excited, because technology is really changing the way that people view the world.
And we're able to hear points of view, like
I had no
from what
idea
you're sharing
about
today.
the flag.
It's great.
Like,
Yeah.
I had
well,
no
I was
clue.
aware. I keep up with a little bit of stuff that's
Yeah.
going on, and there's certain communities over there that you can't. The crime has taken over, and it's a crime from another culture. And
That's what
they've set up their own laws and everything in that community.
Yeah.
It's become its own, not a negative term, but its own ghetto. Not in a
There
negative
are
term.
no-go zones. For like, you just don't go there unless
Yes.
you
Yeah.
want to be harmed.
Yeah.
And then nothing can be done about it.
Right.
It's very hard to
Yeah, the police don't even go in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's both a religious and a cultural zone that is above the law, if you will.
Yeah, exactly.
Ed, what do you think?
I don't know. I'm here kind of listening and appreciating the conversation, but I go back to the Vietnam War, the Korean War, World War I, those type of things that have brought us to where we are now.
Yeah.
The influence of the melting pot of the U.S. and how we are accepting, and how now we want to look to be more restrictive of who we accept,
Yeah.
whether it be culturally, religiously, however you want to look at that, and what our respects are in relationship to the law, Constitution, being right to the Constitution, and as it was written and how it was written, and
Sure.
written for that time in which it was written, that we try to be respectful of people who do not want to be respected of,
Yeah.
who want to bring their belief, which is part of our culture, bring their belief and their religion and their culture into this nation, and be respected. But it's a really tough line when you look at where you've come from. When you're a soldier coming back from Vietnam, and no one respects you, and then a soldier coming back from Iraq and Afghanistan and those type of, and being respected, you see the growth of where we have come from, but yet where we need still to continue to go.
I don't know how well known this is with if that's. I hadn't really thought about that. Growing up in the U.S., it is taught, and we learn a lot about the history, but I don't know how much you know about the Vietnam War in respects to the United States. But I hadn't even really thought about that. It's like, the way that soldiers in the Vietnam War were treated and the way that soldiers were treated in the Iraqi War was completely different. Yeah. And it speaks a little bit to where on that pendulum we were in regards to how we were interacting with the outside world. And that was,
And-
I hadn't even really.
And why
considered that.
we entered that particular conflict, and whether it was a war, was it not a war, those type of things, and
Yeah.
how many we lost, and the defacing of the Vietnam Memorial, those type of things that have gone on now. Whether it's people may consider it art, other people may consider it defacing property.
Yeah.
But how do you bring, and that's where we are now. How do you bring in the mix to be supportive of a nation to where anyone, individuals or families, get support from that particular nation, whether it be our financial system, or whether it be taking care of their kids, those type of Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and big discussion now on healthcare and all that issue, whether what we have
That's
currently, what
Right.
we have currently is working, whether it's not, and how we provide support. You're looking probably at the same thing your way. You have influx of individuals coming in. How does the infrastructure support those individuals?
Somebody's got to foot the bill.
Someone's got to foot the bill,
Yeah.
and yet again, you have these not so comfortable zones you go into it, but they still require support.
Yeah.
They still, no matter
Yeah,
where
they're
what
still
zone you
using
go
your
into,
schools and
they
your
still,
hospitals.
they still require.
I guess it is much cheaper to be completely isolationist. At that point, it
sure.
would be
Oh, yeah.
the logistics are far easier to handle, but at the same time, at that then your culture is your own and that's it. There is no multiculturalism. There is no melting pot, and the Constitution, speaking about the religious freedoms that brought us to the United States, it gets really dicey when you try and handle all the logistical problems with maintaining that worldview and that viewpoint. It's just it's a problem that we'll probably never be able to solve, and will always be a conflict.
It'll be there. We've had
It'll be there
conflict
forever.
Is that true? Because we don't implement it here, and I think maybe this is the route that we should go down as a nation in a very strategic way. Is if you cannot support yourself, and they did do it with married couples. If you're not earning over £25,000, despite you having a spouse here, or your spouse here not earning over a certain amount, you're not coming in. Like, why can't they just do if you can't support yourself by yourself financially, you don't have a job lined up, whatever the case may be, you're not contributing to the tax system. There we go then. Or they can even say I know there are countries in the European Union where it's if you truly want to live here, you have to prove that you are adapting to our way of life, you are adapting to our culture, and they go through tests to prove that, and they get checked up on. And
That's
if
right.
you're not assimilating to the country you've chosen to be in or found yourself in, if you will, be a refugee, then out you go.
Yeah, and we have a citizenship test. Whenever people are looking to become citizens here, we have a very similar test. That I don't know how similar it is, or how rigorous ours is compared to countries in the UK. But that kind of cultural inclusion is important for a lot of people, and other people say it's horrible, it makes it impossible or whatever, but it really does feel like a very polarizing political issue. There are a lot of people on either side of that argument. It's the whole conservative versus liberalism versus
It all boils down to an identity, I think.
Yeah.
The countries, as a nations, just like people, have to figure out who they are. And if you don't know who you are, then someone will come around and tell you who you are.
exactly, yeah.
And then it's do you find? But I guess if you think about it, when we were kids, you're your parents told you to dress a certain way, but you didn't feel comfortable in those clothes, so you dressed another way, or don't watch this, don't do that, don't hang out with those friends. So you're at fairly stage, no, I will. But then essentially that's just a big where we're at now as a nation's being no. Let me tell you how I want to act and behave, and I am grown up now, and do you know what I mean? I have to make my own decisions instead of someone being no, this is how it should be. But I feel like a nation's, because of our different political opinions, is it really good to have a different candidate, a different every so often, because then you can never truly get anything done, because you're always I don't like you as a person, so I'm not going to vote for you. Or I just like your policies, and then I don't like your personality, and then things don't get done the way I expect it to, and then I just go the opposite and next
Right.
term.
Yeah, It really does feel like I think the problem is that everyone who takes an issue with the identity of a culture, a community, the country, if you take issue with it right now, there's not it's not important to have a conversation. It is just important to have your voice heard. And with the internet, that's become much easier for a lot of people. So instead of those conversations happening, it's more of a fight. And it's more of a fight and less of a conversation.
Well, everybody cares mostly about their opinion.
Yeah, and there's an emotional tie to that opinion that doesn't really bode well when you're trying to have a conversation.
Right.
So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. So this is all real heavy, and obviously we're not, just here to have heavy conversation. Specifically, you were talking a little bit about the community showing patriotism in the way that they interact with each other, and how what it means to be British. How do you show patriotism? Do you think? Because you said you're proud to be British, and why is that?
I'm proud to be British because even though people would say multiculturalism isn't working, I have friends who we have heated discussions about it sometimes. I'm proud that we're trying. I'm proud that even though the empire doesn't exist, right? No, we're still around. Like, if you think about it, the Romans are gone, the Aztecs are gone, the Mayans are gone. Like, anyone who really had invaded our world is gone. But we still kept to what we eventually had was us. I think it's an identity of we're not America in terms of isolated, but we're also not European, where we're just we're good. And I think for me that's perfect. I personally I have my rights and my beliefs. At the same time, I'm told. So in the world view of things, it's a good middle ground to be. We just haven't figured it out as a country. That's what makes me proud to be British, that I can stand up and be this is what I believe in and this is okay. But at the same time, I know when to stop and be yeah, come on, we're gonna lose the World Cup again. Let's just enjoy that. We have we know, you can tell who's British. You can always be yeah, you're a Brit. And there's certain things about being a Brit that no one else can quite get unless you truly are British. I suppose you guys can't say, it's harder for an immigrant to say I'm American and from American born and bred. It would be you are. Whereas you don't get that. If you're British, you're British, and you know who's British, and you know who's not.
Wow.
I'm just proud of our community when it works.
You will.
Because it's.
I guess it would be. As you're talking about being proud of that middle ground and having the issues that you have, it's almost like it's good that we're struggling with these things, because the alternative is acceptance of something that may or may not be good. The idea that we're struggling with stuff, you have the opportunity to struggle. We're not, under a dictatorship. We're not under.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I think. That's what it is. I'm proud that as a British person, I can actually have a conversation. We're not straight up in arms. And at the same time, we're not shutting people down. We're literally saying we can have a conversation about this and get somewhere. I think the British like to talk things through and talk it out. And some other I don't know, Eastern cultures and countries be let's think about it. Whereas we're no, let's just talk about it.
Yeah.
And I guess from an outsider's perspective, America seems let's just act on it.
Well, I feel like, and that's, we've talked about this a little bit on the show as well. How the media portrays how a people group can be very different than how it is, because there are people in chat right now who we've got a friend online who said, I must be British at heart because I totally agree with her, but she lives in the United States. And in a lot of ways, there are a lot of parallels between people groups here in the United States that are very glad that we have the freedom to have these kind of conversations, just like you said.
Very much
and
so.
And there's a lot of people in the United States who say that we're not acting enough. And there are plenty of people in the United States who say we're very glad that we're not, acting on gut.
Right.
And it has a lot to do with different presidents, from different parties holding office. It's because toting the party line in a lot of situations requires you to act immediately or not act at all, and people don't necessarily like that all the time. But
your political system is very, very complex. I must admit, I'm still struggling to grasp my head. But like, you guys are so, you were saying earlier, you guys are so big. Like, it's almost impossible to govern efficiently and effectively to make everybody happy. You're an entire. It's
impossible. Yeah, it's impossible.
So,
yeah.
How? Like, not everyone's going to be happy at one given moment in time. Is it like? I don't blame Americans. I don't, because I don't think we truly understand, as Europeans, if you will, or only for a few more months, how big you guys are, like your countries in essence. And well, the EU doesn't work out all the time for everyone. No one really likes the way it's run, so I can only imagine how it must be to be one government rather than like that. Oh gosh, my head.
Yeah. Well, you were talking about we're basically different countries. There's tons of people who are, like to talk about where does the state's government fall into the lives of the people who live there compared to the federal government, which is Washington D.C. Yeah. So that you're kind of right, because if you're talking about the EU, that could be the federal government, and then there are state governments, and like we love to talk about Texas, and Texas is big. We are TexasBigStar. We lived in Spain. Texas is the size of Spain, and Spain is a country. And, Texas is a state, and there are a lot of people in Texas, and there are a lot of people in California, and huge groups of people. So governing all of them is,
The dynamic with
impossible.
the U.S. is that it's the forefathers put together, I believe, which is still not perfect, but the best form of government. It's called a republic.
Yeah.
A republic. Now, we're not a democracy. A lot of folks think, well, democracy. Well, no, we're a republic, and we use a democratic form of.
It's a democratic republic.
Yeah,
but it is a republic.
But it's a republic.
Yeah,
and the different branches of government all work in a checks and balances, so that no one person or one entity can have total power. Is it perfect all the time? No, but it provides a level of comfort, if you will, so that no one individual or one entity, a group of people, can claim a monopoly.
Right.
Yeah.
So now I understand why, like you said, your friend feels and agrees with me. If you guys are so big that obviously there's going to be a cluster of people in every state, I guess, that feels differently, because they've never been able to truly, see the rest of the world. I suppose, like it must be too difficult. Like, I can't imagine being like, oh yeah, someone's going to take a trip to the other side of the planet to broaden my mind when I have so much that is different in different states.
Well,
sure.
And that's true. Yeah. To a degree, there are a lot of different cultures all over. Like, and there's a hold on a second. Sorry. There is a lot of little cultural battles between the North and South, East and West Coast, rural communities versus people who live in the city. That's a little, whenever you're, when you live in a country that is primarily large cities and like a very tight group of people, it's a little different than, where we live, where we're hours away from the closest, large supermarket. And then there are people who live downtown. Those kind of dynamics are just crazy. It's you don't.
Yeah, like I can't fathom it. I suppose I'd have to be in America to be like, whoa. Like, whoa.
So for anyone watching, Chaz is unfortunately the only time she was able to join us was smack dab in the middle of her Apple. Her laptop died, and she is using her phone to talk to us. So we're gonna check back in. So what we might do is
Well,
a
we
different segment.
got Emma's here.
Oh no!
And
Oh no!
I need to hug you.
Oh no!
I've been so
Oh no! That's
scared
good news.
for like an entire year. Almost. Because I was like, okay, I don't want to make
Okay,
it worse.
so I'm gonna go grab our other guests, and we'll do all of that.
Wonderful.
No, I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. Basically,
Hey.
it's free. Oh my god.
That's good news.
You don't have to pay. I'm gonna come back to you.
All right, yeah, stick around.
Yeah, Matt wants you to talk more.
I see that.
In 3 to 5 days.
You're not talking, Matt gets
my
nervous.
God. Wait, do I lose all my data?
That's okay.
We're not going to touch your data, and I think your data is still there. Just the cable.
Hi,
It's
Matt.
fun watching Chaz talk with the Mac Store folks.
Then you can use it again.
Clean up my mess.
Yeah, you've got a banner to roll up, don't you?
I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
No.
That's okay.
Basically, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Oh, good.
It's a cable, not the hard drive, which means I don't have to pay an incredible amount of money to get it fixed, and it's actually for free. And
It's for free. We like free. No matter what country you're in, free is a good thing.
I'm so happy. Oh, so happy.
Well, I'm happy for you too, Chaz. That's
I want to
great.
be on the show more.
Well, you should be on the show more. We will make sure that happens.
Good, because I missed you guys.
Well,
These are interesting talks that I love to have.
yeah, that's why
Yeah,
we're here.
we'll definitely want to grab you back and have you on the show whenever you're, unfortunately, trying to get your hard drive fixed.
Yeah, like it wasn't like they booked me in, and I was like, I'll take it. I'll take whatever time. I'll just, sure. And I had to come 30 miles because it was the only one that had an appointment.
Oh,
like
wow.
everywhere else was booked up. It's hard to get things done with Apple. So I was like, yeah, I'll go. And then I was like, wait, the live show, and I was like 5:30, 6:15. But then, yeah.
So, Chaz, thank you
But
for joining
I got
us.
invited down to the YouTube space in London, which you can't.
Oh. See, that's the thing. I've always wanted to live close enough to a YouTube space to go see what they're doing. It would help us because we're trying to do more YouTube stuff. But so, thank you for joining us. Don't leave unless you absolutely
No
have
worries.
to. We're gonna have a couple of more guests on. You'll be able to hear them even if we won't be able to talk to you.
Right.
So if you want to stay on, that's cool. If you get disconnected, if you're going back to your house, whatever, you can reconnect using the same link, and we'll be good to go. But we're gonna have some more people on. Stick around if you can. So I'm gonna go back over and switch. So thank you.
Thanks, Jake.
Thanks, Chaz. Well, that was great. It was so good to
Go and bring her down.
to speak with her and to hear a different viewpoint from someone who lives in a different country and what they're going through. And it's all about how we show patriotism. That's our topic today. But one of the ways we show patriotism, I must say, is that we have music has a lot to do with our 4th of July celebrations, our Memorial Day and our Veterans Day celebrations. And today's musical guest, Emma Guillory, is here. Is she around? Someone wave her down. Ed, we'll see you. Thanks for dropping in. Emma. Well, what would my wife recommend I do first? What's in the box or... Mr. Mark, how long would you like to stay here?
Some paper towel.
Is ready?
Right there.
Well, we're going to do what's in the box. Folks, if you don't know, this show is called Texas Big Star Live. And, now's a good time to shout out to our sponsors, Jake.
Okay.
We should do that. If you folks are tuning in, you'll notice that there's a couple of 4-packs right here of Dublin. I can only say so much about Dublin before talking about them makes me want to have one. So that's why I talk about them at least 3 or 4 times a day, because that means I can have a Dublin 3 or 4 times a day. Dublin Bottling Works there in Dublin, Texas. Some fine folks, friendly folks, and ready to serve, and they make the most wonderful soda pops. Do you call them soda pop?
You bet.
Was that
That's what they are.
was that the only name that you would give them?
No, they're soda pop.
Soda or soda pop?
Yeah, yeah.
Now in the
We
north
don't-
they
we don't
call
wanna
them pop.
Coke. You always.
No, because that's different.
Yeah, I know.
That's an actual thing.
That's true. That's true.
There's Pepsi Cola and Coca Cola.
That's true.
Now when I was growing up, my grandmother would say a Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
Give me a Coca-Cola.
Yeah, but again, though, like, a lot of times when you can say, let's go get a Coke, you end up getting a Dr. Pepper
Right.
or a Big Orange or something.
Big Orange or a
It's just
ski.
West-
Did you ever ski
a ski
or sun drop? That might have been the southern thing in Tennessee and
Gray
Alabama.
Gray Pets and Orangettes.
Yes, yes.
And remember, the Gray Pets used to be in a little bitty bottle.
Yes, I love those.
Little bitty bottle. That was, when you got one of those, that was special. That was special.
We had a soda. My great uncle owned the general store. It was kind of like a little Mayberry where I grew up, and he had all these different sodas coming from the RC Royal Crown bottlers. But they would carry Ski, Sundrop, and one called Kick. It had a mule.
Okay.
kicking
Yeah,
on
I've
the-
seen that. I've seen those.
Kick.
Yes. Yeah.
It was a
Hey, Mark.
grapefruit
Yes.
flavored. I
Guess what? Hold on just a second. I'm gonna bring her back up. Hey, Chaz, you still with us? I think she is.
Yeah, I am.
So, I just got a message online from my dad. Do you remember him on whenever we did the show in VidCon?
Yeah.
So, Chaz, we met you at VidCon. Right here, this is my grandfather, Mark Wallace.
Hello, Chaz.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
So, Mark, Matt says hi. I'm supposed
Hello.
to say hi from you
Yeah.
on chat.
Okay.
That's it. Just wanted to check in, Chaz. Make the connection.
Well, I'm glad that we made that introduction.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
All right. Okay.
So right now we're in the spot of the show called "Hey, What's in the Box?" Obviously, this is a box. There is something in here that I know not of. I haven't seen what's in here.
Now then, I want to tell you this now. This is probably going to be easy.
Okay.
For most all-American boys, this would probably be easy. But now you're from Tennessee, and
You never know.
and so you were born in the middle '60s.
A little. I
most-
call them real
most-
late '60s.
But anybody that's born, say, grew up during the '30s and the '40s, they'll know what this is immediately. So
Okay.
so we'll find out.
I probably
right.
won't know what it is.
All right.
Let's check it out. What's in the box? Ooh, we're gonna put this right here. And oh goodness, can we get a shot of that? Maybe next to here. All right, if we can see that. There we go. Mr. Mark, maybe you can hold that up for him while
Where's the camera?
There we go. Yeah. Now it says on there 5 minute. What? 5 minute? Turn around this way because it's got writing on the other
Yeah.
side.
Yeah.
Right here. 5 minute. Can anybody see what that says? 5 minute. Okay. It looks like some sort of clamp to me.
It's a clamp.
It is a clamp,
It definitely-
but I don't know what this particular clamp, because it's got kind of this tripod feet on the bottom. Vulcanizer. 5 minute vulcanizer. Well, Vulcan was a stove company,
Okay.
and it was a process of forging things, maybe.
Could be.
5 minute vulcanizer. Wait a second. The Shaler Company.
Yeah. It's a very common name back in the day.
Shaler.
Yeah. When it dealt with automobiles primarily.
Oh, okay, all right. You give me a hint. Automobiles. Well, if something you would clamp on. Now it's got some residual oil on there.
That has nothing to do.
Hasn't it? I was going to say, well, it was near the engine. No, it's just been near you, huh?
Right.
I can't imagine. You've got to keep something, a disc shaped maybe, something in there. Did it hold a rear view mirror?
No.
What could you have clamped to this?
Do I have
And
to
it's
get-
something every boy in the 30s and 40s
All
would
right,
know
now,
exactly what it is.
Now I want to tell you a story. Now back in the day,
In 30s and
all-
40s.
well, actually goes farther than that, but I'm just saying, oops. Nowadays we have what you call tubeless tires.
Oh!
Does that help you?
This was for bicycle tube repair, was it not?
Well, yeah, you could do a bicycle tire. Have you ever? I'm going to give you another clue. Have you ever heard the term hot patch?
Yeah. Oh well, yeah. The patch kits at my great uncle's store, we used to buy them.
Explain to me how they work.
You would find where the hole is, and the top of the patch kit had like a cheese grater thing on it.
Okay.
And you rub that rubber
There
on,
you
rub
go.
it on,
There
and
you
you
go.
rough it up.
That's right.
And then apply the epoxy, and then you light that sucker up with matches.
It's a little metal disc. It had a powder in it that burned, but on the outside it had a piece of rubber.
Rubber, yes.
And then whatever you do is you take this and you clean your. Now we're talking about the inner tube.
Yeah.
All right. Now here's an inner tube right here. Okay. And anyway, and you put that patch down right there, and you put that.
You press it on there.
You press that on there, and that holds that in place. And then you take a match, you strike it, and you light that.
Wow.
And it gets real hot, and it vulcanizes that piece of rubber onto the hole that's in the tube. So this is a Vulcan hot patch clamp. That's what this is. What does it say right there? It says a 5-minute.
5-minute vulcanizer.
Okay.
Vulcanizer.
Now then, you're going to learn. You hang around me, I'll teach you something.
This is good stuff. See, I don't recall seeing one of these. By the time I had a bicycle and I fixed lots of flats, it was all in this little patch. It almost came in a little tobacco-shaped can, like for tobacco.
Yeah.
And you'd have the top, and you rub it on there, and then light it. We didn't use these though.
Yeah. But now
Maybe we
notice
should have.
The name of that is Shaler.
Yes.
But now Shaler made something called Rizlone. It's an additive that you put in your car.
Rizlone?
Rizlone. You put it in your radiator, and they had one for your oil. Shaler Rizlone was one I remember offhand. But Shaler made all kinds of products like this for repairing your automobile. Now it's sad nowadays we can't repair our automobiles anymore. We have to take them to the dealership or to a mechanic because they have all the computer stuff that you.
They have all the computer. That is pretty sad.
But this is out of the days when a guy could actually work on his own car and fix your own flat. And if you were growing up in the 40s and the 50s, you ever worked at a filling station, you were very, very.
Yeah, you probably kept
knew,
that around a belt loop.
You knew what that was. Okay. But anyway, I just wanted to bring this by and share this with you.
That is incredible. Thank you.
All right. Good to see you again.
Thank you, sir.
And I'm going to take me a bottle of.
You should.
A Dublin home with me.
What flavor would you like?
Oh, it doesn't matter. They're all good.
Well, this one's blue. If you like drinking blue liquids.
All right.
There's a tart lemonade.
And what's this one out here?
That looks like maybe a root beer. Yes, you cannot go wrong with a root beer. You should take a root beer.
Good to see you, Brian.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
We'll see you.
Have fun.
Mr. Mark Wallace with another riveting episode of What's in the Box. I would never have. I knew it was to squash something onto something, and that should have given away the size of that patch.
So, Chaz, I'm very sad. We missed the wonderful walking through London. Where are you located right now?
Okay, thank you. I am in Chinatown in London.
Oh, that's awesome.
Looks like you're in a shop. Oh, you're in a confectionery or a sweet bakery shop. Yum. Yum. Look at that. Oh. Look at that.
They have like buns like this, like
coconut roll.
All sorts. Like it's amazing. But they have I'll show you when I get them. They have these fish. Like it looks like fish, but there's warm mustard inside, and it's delicious. There, yeah. Like so, they come out like that. They call it taiyaki. If you are ever in Chinatown, you need to get these.
So what's the thing with all the tubes in it? Are they cryogenically freezing those things? What is that?
I wish they were, but it's just delivering the batter. And
they squirt the batter on there.
It ends up like a dish like that.
Oh, it's sort of like a tiny little waffle iron kind of thing.
It's very high tech.
Look at that.
Who knew pastries are so high tech?
Yeah.
Really, it's like robotic pastries. That's amazing. I could never work at a place like that.
But they're warm and then it's very good.
They would fire me within the first week because they would realize that their product is, they're not, for some reason, just not making enough money. We're not selling. They're gone, but we're not making any money on them. What happened? Wow. Well, Chaz, that's incredible. Stay with us if you will. We're going to do a musical break here for a moment, and we'll tune in with you real soon.
All right.
Folks, you are watching Texas Big Star live right here from the fabulous Horny Toad Bar and Grill in Cranfills Gap, Texas. And it's been a great show today. And it's not over yet. We have a musical guest with us. And our musical guest is going to be playing the guitar and singing. And we may get her over here to talk with her just a little bit after she's through. She's a good friend of ours, and I really enjoy her playing and singing. It's just a great, when she delivers songs, it's got a real soulful, folky vibe to it. That's what I like.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Me, I like singer-songwriter kind of stuff, and she's going to be doing a couple songs that I know you're going to appreciate. So without further ado, Miss Emma Guillory. How are you?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm so glad we could twist your arm to have you come and do this show. You've got watermelon shirts.
I do.
That's pretty cool.
I do. I had to get a summer shirt because
nothing says summer like a watermelon blouse.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, what you gonna sing first for us?
Blackbird by the Kyle Bennett Band.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes. Maybe we can bring the volume down on this.
Oh, JB. I'll go get it.
Thank you, JB. We have house music that's being played right now, so we want everyone to appreciate what's about to happen right here. So we'll bring that down, and then you can begin. So this is a song that you played for the 4-H state competition, true?
Yes, for 4-H Has Talent. It's kind of like America's Got Talent, but not as cool, or not as big. It is cool, but it was a really cool experience, but it's not as big as America's Got Talent.
Right,
so.
right. Well, we look forward to hearing it.
Yeah.
It's called Blackbird, and Miss Emma Guillory.
Blackbird, blackbird, come down out of your tree. I ain't had a friend around, and I ain't had much sleep. Speak to me a reason, I can't keep hanging on. The wizard lies into his eyes, my baby done me wrong. Blackbird, blackbird, tell me what you see. A broken girl before you, bent down on her knees. And no, I can't fight reason, we've both been hanging on. The wizard lies into his eyes, my baby done me wrong. Fly home, fly home, fly on home, blackbird, fly home. And if you see him on your way, tell him that I'm sad he's gone. You better tell him that I'm sad. Yeah. Blackbird, blackbird, stay with me tonight. He yelled about my everything, and I even did everything right. You know I can't fight reason, we've both been hanging on. The wizard lies into his eyes, my baby done me wrong. Fly home, fly home, fly on home, blackbird, fly home. And if you see him on your way, tell him that I'm sad he's gone. And if you see him on your way, tell him that I'm sad he's gone. And if you see him on your way, tell him that I'm sad he's gone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Very, very nice. I'm digging
Thank
on
you.
that vibe. Digging on that vibe. I've heard you play that before, and now I've heard it again, and it's still just as cool. Still just as cool. That's great. What other song you got? You got another song, right? Just one more?
Have you heard of the Steel Drivers?
Yes.
Oh, good. I was planning on playing Peacemaker,
Aha. Okay.
but I gotta retune my guitar real
Sure.
quick.
Oh, I understand. Gonna detune. Gonna drop it down. Okay. We allow tuning here at Texas Big Star Live.
Well, that's good.
Are you in?
I think that's good enough.
Detuning with a capo. That's sometimes tricky.
Yes. All right. Well,
Well,
here
go
it
for
goes. This is Peacemaker by the Steel Drivers.
Yeah.
So. I'm a cool 3 pounds of cold blue steel. Shoot even deader than the way I feel. Made to fit right in your hand. Why I'll never understand. Could have been a hammer or a railroad spike. I could have been a train rolling through the night. But they made my voice such a terrible sound that I wish they left me in the ground. I'm a peacemaker. Don't know how I got my name. I'm a peacemaker. If I don't deserve the credit, why do I deserve the blame? When the lion lays down with the lamb, and you won't find me in nobody's hand. Until that time I will remain, till the sinners lay down with the saints. I'm a peacemaker. Don't know how I got my name. I'm a peacemaker. If I don't deserve the credit, why do I deserve the blame? I'm a peacemaker. I don't know how I got my name. I'm a peacemaker. If I don't deserve the credit, why do I deserve the blame? If I don't deserve the credit, why do I deserve the blame. I'm a cool 3 pounds of cold blue steel. I shoot even darer than the way I feel.
That
Very
cover
nice.
was so good we were getting background vocals from Brian.
Oh yeah, I can't help but grooving when it's really cool. So, Emma, thank you. That was
welcome.
great.
I enjoyed it.
That was really
Thanks
great.
for having me.
Come on over and chat a little bit if you want to, as we say around here. You want to? Yeah.
Yonk too.
Very nice. Very nice. So, how long you been playing guitar? 12 years now. Okay. Wow. So you started when you were 2.
No. I'm not. No. I started about first grade.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, my brothers, they all got acoustic guitars. They weren't very good acoustic guitars, but they were acoustic guitars to learn on, and it just intrigued me so much I wanted to learn how to do it. So
Yeah.
be like, hey, teach me that. So they were gracious enough to, teach me things, even if I was kind of being annoying about it.
Right.
As a first grader, so that's kind of how I.
Well, yeah, when you pick it up like that, pick it up young, it kind of sticks with you. I started playing piano first, not guitar. And piano lessons, 3 years when I was 8.
Yeah.
And then didn't finish up with that. I just couldn't keep up with following all the notes. I would cheat and just use the finger numbers, and that would help. But then I picked up guitar at about 11, so that's... And what I don't see a lot of, I don't see a lot of guilds. Guild is the brand of acoustic that you have here.
Right.
I don't. I like guilds. I've always liked guilds, but I just don't see a lot of them. Where'd you get that one at? Where'd that one come from?
This one came from a store in Waco. I don't believe it's there anymore, but it's called Backstage Pass.
Uh-huh.
And my dad took me to Waco on my 13th birthday, I think, to go look at guitars. I wasn't planning on buying one, but then he talked me into buying one and kind of pitched in a little bit for my birthday.
Right.
And this is what I came out with, and I haven't been disappointed with it.
Yeah,
so.
it's a great sounding guitar.
I didn't know really anything about Guild before I bought it. But
Yeah, originally Guild's American-made, one of American-made guitars, and up there with Gibson and others. I think George Strait played Guild for a long time, and maybe still does.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, it's a great guitar, and nice piece of mahogany.
Yes.
That always sounds real well.
My dad, when I bought this, he was trying to figure out every famous singer that played a Guild. He was like, "Did you know so-and-so played a Guild?" I was like, I didn't know, but now I do. So.
Yeah. There's a long. They make great instruments and always have. I've always liked them. Never owned one. Maybe I should. I have other guitars that. I can't keep up my collection anymore. I just can't keep buying guitars, and I don't have that many. There are some guitar players that, 20's not enough. There's always 22, 24. I just have a few go-to guitars that are the tools of the trade.
Exactly.
That's
really
get
all you
things
need.
done for me, both live and in the studio, and just helps me do my thing.
For me, I just have this one, and then I have a little travel guitar, so I can take it places. It's a little smaller, and it fits well with me because I'm a smaller person.
Right.
So it works to travel with, and then I think I have one that my cousin gave to me because he didn't play it.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
Well, we appreciate you being on the show.
Absolutely.
Thank you for doing it. We were kind of sweating a musical guest. I thought, wow, I checked with 4 people, one of whom was getting over shellfish poisoning.
Oh, gosh.
And couldn't make it. Of all things. He wrote back. He's like, sorry I didn't get back. They had shellfish poisoning. He's like, and I never want to have it again. I said, I don't even want you to have it again. So, but I appreciate you coming by and singing for us.
Sure,
It sounded wonderful.
it.
The chat, everybody was chatting in. Yeah, they really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Well, it was fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Well, you're welcome to come back anytime that you want.
Okay.
and I'll make you if you need me to. We'll talk to the powers that be and twist your arm a little bit, being voluntold to do something. You know how that goes. Thank you so much. Emma Giller, everybody.
Thank y'all.
Wave bye to everybody. Oh, yeah. Texas Big Star Live. Texas Big Star Live. We get musical guests. Try to get them every week. It doesn't always work out so well in the summertime, I've noticed. Everyone's usually going somewhere. Musicians are headed to a gig. They're headed to their place of employment for the next 4 or 5 hours in the evening. And what you sipping on there, JB? What were you sipping on there, JB?
I'm still got that last bit.
You do?
That's always the best bit.
Really, why is that?
Well, it's the best bit because you know.
Because you know it's the last one?
Well, not because you know it's the last one. Because you know that you've went through this entire bottle of delicious Dublin Bottling Works
So that
products.
makes... So really, what you're lauding is the fact that the best thing about it is that it's almost empty.
Because you've been drinking it all.
You know what I've noticed right here? Have you noticed?
What have you noticed?
There's like you see that? There's like a little circular raised bubble thing right there on the bottle.
I hadn't.
Do they
noticed
all have that? Now we're intrigued. We're reaching for Dublins. Maybe it's like a secret. It's like a secret thing they only put on certain bottles.
Doesn't have an, oh,
no, this one
mind.
does. It is. It's right there.
That must be their coat of arms. Just a raised
a
bubble.
clear little circle thing. Okay, well, now we've digressed into what are they doing now? They're staring at bottles. This is a Dublin Vintage Cola, and I must say I'm a fan of this. It reminds me of my childhood growing up there in Mona, Tennessee, back when Jefferson Pike only had one car every 12 minutes.
That's not a lot of cars.
No, it's not a lot of cars. That's why I was able to ride my bike up and down the road.
So, we've got some viewers, our standard, normal viewers. We love them dearly.
Yes, we do.
Check out what Hushy sent us.
That
This is a picture that he took this morning.
Look at that.
that site is beautiful.
Where was he at? Hushy, where'd that be? Was that near your place?
I don't know. We'll find out. But here it is. It's
Look at that.
birdie.
I want to fish that right now. Especially right there. See, up in the... Is there trout? There's got to be trout in there. Wouldn't you think
There's got to be
trout?
something
said-
there.
I think he said he caught some cod this morning.
Really?
Something like that.
Oh yeah.
That's just... I just want to throw a lure right there in that swirling deep section right next to the rocks on the bank.
It's 3 hours away.
Oh, it's 3 hours away. You were 3 hours from home, Hushy?
Well, pretty soon it's going to be a lot of hours away from home.
Stephanie, why do you feel so bad when you catch a fish? One of our chat,
We're
Stephanie
asking
Jones
the
Music, says
existential
she likes
questions
fishing,
now.
but I really feel bad when I catch something. That's why I always put them back. I don't feel as bad when I'm. It's like, well, I'm taking them, giving them back home, taking them home.
So here's a question: if I came and got you out of your place, put a hook through the side of your mouth, drug you outside, and then undid it and let you go back inside, how would you feel?
I would feel grateful.
You let him experience the world for a second.
Yeah, I like it.
We can
That's a
get
way
this
to
can
look
go
at it,
into
yeah.
a whole different conversation on animal rights and do they feel pain and
Yeah,
things like that.
instead-
Which I'm willing to go there. I can
instead-
tell you my belief and my own personal. Some of those things that I talked about are non-negotiable.
Yeah.
My personal take on that and why things are the way they are. To me, and I don't base it on my own thoughts. There's some other more historical documents that I go to. But anyway, yeah, you appreciate life more when you're able to throw the fish back. That's what Stephanie says. Or Sloth Time Lord, yeah. And I appreciate life more. They feel lucky. Oh, Sloth Time Lord. So funny. Hey, Jake, we're at the 2 hour mark. Are we supposed to play pool today?
We can't
we don't
find
have to.
anybody.
Yeah.
Oh, couldn't find anybody. It's pretty
No.
slow here today.
There's-
I should let the viewers know that it's rained about. Feels like it's rained about 8 inches outside since 4 this morning.
Yeah.
Is it still raining? Have you checked outside?
No, it is clearing up, thankfully.
Wow, that's good news.
but it's still quite wet outside.
Right. Well, you know what? We do need to cover some of these local events that are coming up in the very near future. So, folks, if you're wondering what goes on around the Toad in the Bosque area, the one place to go to find out what's going on is BosqueAreaEvents.com. You're supposed to join me on that. Try it again. BosqueAreaEvents.com. And if you go there, you'll find a calendar of all the stuff that's happening. What is today? Remind me of the day.
Today is the 24th of June.
24th of June. Thank you. Got it right here. Today, did you know that I've got tickets to this. I know where I'm going to be this evening. The National Championship Barbecue Cook-Off Auction, the Chamber Fish Fry Dinner, is happening tonight at the Meridian Civic Center, 5 o'clock. Fish fry. And it's, a fundraiser to be prepared for the National Championship Barbecue Cook-Off that happens right there at Bosque Bottoms. Bosque Bottoms. Sounds like a bluegrass band. The Bosque Bottom Boys.
Or the Texas version of Bikini Bottom.
Texas version of Bikini Bottom. Right here. We got it right down the road. Bosque Bottoms. It happens there in October every year, and it's fantastic. It's just like you pay a ticket price and you eat barbecue and you walk around and just eat more barbecue after that. And then you walk, and then you hear great music, and then you eat barbecue.
Sounds like a really fun day.
It's a fun day. What else could somebody want other than
barbecue?
More barbecue.
Yeah.
Yeah. June 28th, Cliff Tex Summer Movie Club. I was at the Cliff Tex last night. Saw the brand new Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
How was it?
You know, it was better than that last one they made.
That's not saying much.
It's not saying much at all.
The last one they made was like, hey, we just need to put a movie in here. Can someone phone that in? Great, thanks. But yeah, I think they probably received so much flack from that last piece of celluloid that they put out that they made this one much better. Much better. And, it's an intense and also fantasy adventure and very piratey, and they leave room to do more sequels. Imagine that.
Yeah, imagine that. People want more money.
But the summer movie club, the Cliff Tex, I believe the next summer movie coming up is going to be Kung Fu Panda, and it's coming up real soon. So
a good classic.
Wait. So the original Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah,
yes.
What it is, the summer movie club happens, I want to say, certain days, maybe it's
every Tuesday?
June 28th. June 28th was Wednesday.
Oh, Wednesday, yes.
2 to 4 p.m. They show a children's movies.
Yeah.
So Kung Fu Panda, the original, it's $2 to get in.
What?
$2.
I never saw Kung Fu Panda.
Oh, you need to see it, man.
Movie night.
Oh, you need to see it, dude. My kids love Kung Fu Panda, all of them.
I'm not a I'm a Jack Black fan.
Yeah.
But I'm about to say something. I'm not a children's movie Jack Black fan.
Yeah.
I'm a.
Are you saying you're too grown up for it?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm a Pixar. I love Pixar. DreamWorks. I'm not a DreamWorks fan.
So you're not a fan of their animation, or is it just like?
No.
That's like saying I don't like that cartoon you drew, you third grader.
Those aren't third graders. They're making big bucks.
They are. The storyline's great and fun. Kung Fu Panda is just kind of funny.
Yeah.
Fun. And they got better. The first one, I enjoyed the second one. Had a real great storyline and just lots of humor. Kids love it. But that's what's showing at the Cliff Tex. And what else we got here? Woo, wow, this is the first free Saturday at the Bosque Museum is happening July 1st. Saturday, July 1st. Next Saturday. And there's Kid Fun Day at Cranfills Gap Park. Obviously, we talked about that with Ed.
Yep.
And Summer Fun Days at Bosque County Extension's office. Also that same day. Looky here. Oh, July 8th. We have to mention this one because I believe I'm going to have to get a Hawaiian shirt. It is Luau Day here at the Horny Toad.
Oh, yeah? I remember hearing about that last
Luau
week.
Day. It's like 11 to 11. 12 hours of just luau fun. I'm sure Owen and Sandy are going to have this place decorated. Don't let us forget, July 8th, Jake, you're going to have to wear a Hawaiian shirt. You got a Hawaiian shirt? All right.
I don't know.
Need to
I don't
visit
think
the
so.
Goodwill, visit thrift store, and
yeah.
get you one.
So yeah,
Yeah, hold on.
we're all gonna have to go to Goodwill to get a Hawaiian
Yeah.
shirt. But
Yeah.
if I remember correctly, aren't they going to roast an entire pig?
They are. Yeah.
gonna-
Wonder how the pig feels.
In
Well-
my belly.
Get in my belly.
Murder Mystery Dinner Theater at Flint Creek Manor going on also July 8th. This is just cool stuff. We have so many things going on here. I guess we'll stop there. That gets us the next couple of weeks and catches everybody up to date on the things happening. Things are happening in the Bosque County area. Bosque County has lots of stuff, and BosqueAreaEvents.com is a place for you to go to find out if you have an event that's coming up and you want the world to know about it, because obviously the world will be viewing it, because this is a worldwide broadcast, or at least Jake keeps telling me that it is, and I have to believe him.
Yeah, not much we can do about that.
Yeah.
It is a worldwide broadcast, and the way that we can verify that people all over the world are watching is by inviting our friends, like our friend from Norway.
Our friend from Norway, and here he is.
Hey, Hushy, how's it going, man?
How are you? Can he hear us?
Hello.
Hello,
Hushy.
What you
I
doing?
can. Just hanging around. It's a camping site. You know, river behind me.
Oh, nice.
Right now it's a low tide, so fishing right now is not a good idea. You're just gonna lose your lures.
So the guy out there fishing, does he know that?
No, that's not a guy, and it's not out fishing.
Oh, is it a girl, and what is she doing? Or is
She's
that
just viewing, I think.
okay. All I can see is a silhouette. It could be a bear for all I know, or a Sasquatch. You guys have Sasquatch in Norway?
No, not in Norway. I don't know what that would be. Canada, maybe?
Canada, yeah. Well, just you know how the Sasquatch are. They're kind of a gypsy type people. They roam and just lay their head anywhere they can. So what you been up to? You're at a camping site. Now, are you staying at the camping site, or it's just near your place of
I'm
residence?
staying at the camping site. I've been here since Thursday, and I've basically just been hanging around in nature, fishing a little bit, mostly just nature. And a little bit of, actually, my dad passed away a couple of years ago, so I tend to his grave as well. So.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that, but I appreciate
It's sad.
that you're wanting to remember him. That's. So you get to walk around that campsite. How big is that? It looks like a pretty big area.
Yeah, it's quite a big area, yeah.
When does the tide come back in?
It comes and goes in intervals of 6 hours, I think.
Uh-huh.
So I would say around midnight, actually.
Midnight. So what's the time there? I forget our time difference with you.
It's almost 9.
Almost 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's about a 7-hour difference.
It's really bright outside to be 9 o'clock.
Yep.
Yeah. When does
It is.
When does it get really dark there this time of year?
This time of year, it doesn't get dark. The sun does not go down.
Really? So you were up there when I stayed in Canada. It was the same way. You must be on that same parallels there.
Yeah.
It stayed bright all. Yeah, I was up there in June years ago, and it was up in Alberta area, northern.
So Hushy,
Yeah.
you have to answer our question for the day. I know you were watching a little earlier, but how do you and how does Norway show patriotism?
I wouldn't say I'm a typical Norwegian on this point, but for me, it's mostly just during the National Day. We go around, see the parade, maybe wave the flags a little bit. All that, but yeah, it's a difficult question to answer for me because I've been so much involved with people from other parts of the world, so I can't consider myself Norwegian fully.
So, while you've lived in Norway, what are a couple of things that you've noticed about how people show patriotism in the country? Like, do you see, is it pretty regular? Like, do people fly flags? We were talking a little bit about that.
Parades, flags.
Yeah.
Going to amusement park, eating a lot of.
A lot of what?
Yeah, hold on, you cut out. Eating a lot of what? Uh-oh.
That's a good face to
Sound like you were
pause on.
saying
though.
lobster. Do they eat? He said is it lobster?
Yeah, maybe.
For some reason, I heard an R sound.
Really? I thought
like
it was
raw.
Drinking a lot of Lavazza coffee? You said a lot. What? Okay.
Oh, you're back.
I'm back. Yeah. Sorry.
What do they eat a lot of?
Hot dogs.
Hot dogs.
Ice creams.
Hot dogs? Really?
Ice cream.
Yeah, actually, when during the National Day, it's pretty common.
Huh.
Let's see.
I gotcha.
Can I turn this around? Hold on, 1 second. Just want you to look at this.
Oh, man.
That is quite good looking.
Yeah, so when the tide is going up, the water goes the way you see now, but when the tide is going out, you see it's going the other way.
Yeah. So the tide's rolling in right now.
Yeah, it's rolling in right now.
Slowly.
Tide goes in, tide goes out.
slow.
There's never a miscommunication.
So that where you're standing right now will soon be underwater, you think?
Yeah, it's a lot of seaweed, so
Yep.
I would assume
Right.
a couple of hours.
How many feet does it rise? Or meters, as it were.
Meters, I would say maybe a couple meters, actually.
Right. About 5-6 feet.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Look at that.
Oh.
That's a lot of water moving.
That is a lot of water.
Is the water cold? Have you been in the water?
Well, right now it's not the hottest day. It's around 10 degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
I don't remember how much that is in
That's pretty chill.
Fahrenheit. Yeah, that's pretty chill.
That's
Especially
like
compared to
60 degrees,
Texas.
maybe.
Something around that
Oh, you're
area.
talking about the water or the outside temperature?
Yeah, the outside temperature.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The water may be the same. I don't know.
I would hope it
I haven't
would be.
been in the water, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see anybody doing any swimming around there. So.
Well, not in the stream, anyways.
Right.
Maybe found a beach. Then maybe. I don't know.
So, it's approaching the time. You're coming to Texas. Are you excited?
Yeah, it's less than 3 weeks. I'm a bit excited, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're going to be here with us, man.
Looking forward
cool.
to seeing all you, Stephanie, Alfie, if he's coming.
Yeah, he's coming.
I don't know. Yeah.
It's going to be a whole crew of folks here.
Yeah, it is. Looking forward to seeing Tex.
Tex is tuning in. Check him out.
Is he?
Yes, he's tuned in right now.
He finally got his internet fixed.
Yeah, poor guy.
Finally.
He had
I
intraweb
must have taken
problems.
him long.
Yeah, because of that hailstorm that came through.
Oh, that's right.
His
the ice,
tower got
ice
knocked
from
down.
the sky knocked down his internet reception.
Right. Yeah, I was talking about that, but I thought he got that fixed a couple of days ago, so.
He did, but he was still having a lot of issues with it. So
Sounds like our internet.
yeah,
at the
pretty
farm.
much. And my internet at home.
Yeah.
True.
Issues? Alright.
So
Yeah.
what day are you actually landing and arriving here, Hushy?
It's at July the 12th. It's around 6:30, I think, if I remember correctly.
12th.
In the evening, right?
Yeah, in the evening, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Are you flying into Dallas or Waco?
Yeah, Dallas.
Dallas. Okay.
If it's international,
Yeah.
it would have been.
I didn't know
It would
if
have been
he-
either Dallas or Austin.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know if he had
Waco-
a connecting
yeah.
flight. I didn't know if he was going to come straight to Waco.
You would have to get another flight to fly
Yeah,
into
separate
Waco,
one.
and those are kind of hard to get.
Yeah. Yeah, we're looking at.
I was actually looking at that when I ordered, but
Right.
it got a lot more expensive, so I was like, no.
Yeah, for that little
Yeah.
trip down to Waco, they sure want a lot of money for that.
Yeah,
Well,
they do.
We're also going to be going up there. They're all coming in about the same time. So we're gonna pick people up and wait around and have dinner. It'll be a thing. So.
Aha.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we should put that live on Twitch or something.
Yeah,
or at least
we should get up a video
Texas
of that.
Big Star.
Texas Big Star
welcome.
behind the scenes.
Texas welcome, at least some behind the scenes footage
Yeah.
of what's going on.
Yeah. That would be cool.
It'd be fun to see all these different personalities come and clash in Austin or I mean Dallas. And I mean clash in a good way.
Clashing plans.
Not
more
like
Clash
Heroes of the
Kings.
Storm way.
Ah. What's that? Do you know what that bird is back there?
I actually don't know. It's not a seagull, I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
Because but did you know that if a seagull flies over the bay, it's a bagel?
I've heard that one before.
Have I told you that one before?
Yeah.
I'm running out of jokes.
To run on that beach.
Tex got excited for a second.
Seagulls gonna come, poking in the coconut. And they did. They did.
Am I going live? Stop it, please.
I bet Texas singing that to himself right now.
Yep. You bet he is.
Oh.
So, we might have Chaz coming back. I was hoping to get her talking a little bit about her YouTube page.
Oh, yeah.
A little about what she does on YouTube, what she's hoping to do on YouTube, stuff she's working on. She might be back. She's in the tunnel right now. And Chapman. Do we know? Is Chapman not coming? Yes, no? We don't worry about it. We might have gotten to hang out with Mr. Chapman Guillory a little bit today, but maybe not. We might have to cut it. We don't know.
It's getting pretty late for you guys now, compared to when you normally end it. So.
Yeah, we're
time
kind
is
of
it?
on the final approach here. It's 2 o'clock
yeah.
here.
2 o'clock?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're coming in for a landing no matter what, I would
But
think.
will it be a crash landing?
No.
Okay,
Of course
good.
not. No crash landing.
No. Brian and Dylan, a little bit of JB, helping me in Matt's absence, put together a little bit of content. Oh, and Katrina, she's not here anymore. Thanks to everybody. It takes a lot of work to program a show, and we've learned that this week.
It takes some effort getting all the pieces to fall together.
in place.
And yeah, I thought today's show has been really, really cool. Been really fun. Good.
Yeah,
we covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, we did.
We've gone.
We went from politics, beliefs, all the way to grapes.
Oh, I enjoyed the
Yeah,
grapes
sure.
too. Yeah, we're talking about vineyards. I didn't know Ed was putting a vineyard together. That's
I actually didn't know that either.
I need to explore that a little more later on. Sounds like we need to explore that in a couple of years.
We'll have to check back. We'll have to check back on them.
So Ushi, that right there, we should thumbnail that picture right there because that's a good look for you. The background and everything, the lighting is pretty good. I think. Don't you agree, Jake? That's pretty good light right there.
There he is.
Yeah, we'll use that for a segment.
Sure.
Hushy.
I gave you permission.
Hushy
It's fine.
Hushy in high tide. Of course, it's not quite high tide. It's at low tide, but it's coming
low
in.
tide.
Yeah,
It's coming in.
low tide.
Yeah, I think it was interesting to listen to what Chas had to say today.
Oh,
I couldn't be in chat that much because I was out walking and yeah,
Oh yeah.
but it was fun.
But yeah, we're glad you can make it onto the show today.
Awesome. Yeah, glad you tuned in.
Oh, I almost forgot. Dylan's gonna help me out. We actually need to raid somebody today. We keep forgetting to do that.
Yeah, I saw Love was on earlier. Love the
Is Love
Eli.
streaming?
He was, but I don't know if he's anymore.
You know what I need to raid? I need to raid the Horny Toad's Kitchen and grab me a burger.
Yeah.
Lunch, huh?
That's a raid that my stomach is telling me what I need to raid right now.
Yeah.
I was having a burger earlier.
Were
It
ya?
was so good.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. See, you got a Dublin. Dublin's best friend is my belly, first of all. His second best friend.
It's just
second
a
best
burger and some
friend
fries.
is a toad burger. Yeah, yeah. Woo! So what do you guys think? Wrapping it up for the day?
Yeah, we're gonna find someone to raid.
Final approach, Hushy. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for it was a welcome, a wonderful surprise, and we will be seeing you face to face real soon. Counting down the days. Bring your parka. It's going to be nice and brisk here when you arrive in July. You know I'm being sarcastic.
I know.
We're gonna find a cowboy hat that fits you. Because the sunshine might be kind of harsh for your skin when you first arrive. I know it was for me.
Yeah. I heard it was going to be around 40 to 50 degrees Celsius. So.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah. July is a good time. But, fortunately for you, you're going to see something that hasn't happened. It happened last year, too, a very green summer. It rained so much that there was so much green grass. Ordinarily, it wasn't like that. So it's probably going to be that way still by the time you arrive because we've had so much rain.
Yeah,
we'll have a lot of green things growing.
I think we've had two pretty bad, well, not bad storms, but pretty intense storms. I think we've had two of them this week alone.
Yeah, last night's
because
storm was
Monday,
pretty strong.
if I remember, Monday and today.
Yeah, right. So.
Oh, looks like we found someone to raid.
We found someone to raid. Well, let's bring it in for a landing, folks. You have been watching Texas Big Star live right here from the fabulous Horny Toad Bar and Grill. Every Saturday we're here, and we are promoting peace, respect, love, understanding, a love for Pico de Gallo, a love for Dublin's, a love for the hot ash stove, and a love for our international friends and family everywhere, and our soon-to-be friends and family everywhere. And we're going to raid somebody. Jake, say some final words for us all.
Oh, gosh. Be excellent to one another.
Stay awesome. That's your final word.
Stay awesome, Bruce.
Okay, hold on. Oh, gosh, no. Everyone wave.
Bye-bye.
Here's looking at you, kid.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee. Levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye.
My ship sank, my heart broke. I'm gonna sit down and rest my bones. The check bounced a second time. The lights went out. Mama cried. A pot of gold ain't seen it yet. Buddy, that's as good as it gets. That's as good as it gets.